are now listening to Human Beings.
Mr. Ryan Buhain, we have a special guest today, the founder of 2Hands Basketball. He's a professional basketball trainer located in South Orlando, Florida. He's the founder of 2Hands Basketball. He's a his basketball organization helps improve skills of players of all levels. He's worked with 2019 WNBA champion Natasha Cloud, NBA players Jonathan Cummings, Kevin Porter Jr.
Hey, hold on. Jonathan Kuminga from
Kuminga. My bad.
totally messed that up.
Jonathan Kuminga, Kevin Porter Jr., two-time NBA All-Star Victor Oladipo, and four-time NBA All-Star Kemba Walker. Welcome to Human Beings Podcast, man.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure.
Appreciate you.
Big fan of the podcast. I love everything you guys are doing, especially coming from two of my guys that I've grown up with and see grow. So
For sure, man.
Love it,
Appreciate
man.
it. Feel the same way
Thank-
about you, bro.
yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Thank you for being letting us use this beautiful facility.
Wait, this is my facility? I thought this was you guys' spot?
It's a common misconception, but yes, you own the place.
I didn't know. I didn't know. Apparently, I didn't know.
So, I really want to start off with like your training, how you started 2Hands Basketball. I want to start with where is it that you started to create this 2Hands Basketball? Where were you when? How long ago has it been?
I think it was like 2012, 2011, around those times. I was still a pursuing player at that moment, and I transitioned my perspective of trying to reach a high level basketball from being a pursuing player to the development side of things. I'm a guy that came off two knee surgeries, two ACL surgeries. So when you go through that much setbacks, you kind of like have to make a decision like, okay, do I give up the sport that I love that I've been playing for my whole life, or do I shift the narrative and shift my mindset and direction where I'm going to go with this? So I think that's where it all started. After my second ACL surgery from being a pursuing player, that's when I really shifted to the developmental world.
And you started this off though on Instagram. I remember back in the day when I was doing training and you were doing training too.
Wait, you did training?
Yeah, I know it doesn't look like it much, but I was what was that like?
Yeah,
9 years ago?
Yeah,
Let's say
exactly.
9 years ago?
Yeah.
A lifetime.
So, do you have any of those old videos of you?
I do. It's
You
still
training?
on Instagram right now. So if you go scrolling
Oh, it's
all
still on
the way
Instagram.
back
Wait, what is that Instagram? Where can they find you?
at 2Hands Basketball, it's numerical 2.
Number 2.
2Hands Basketball. Okay.
Yeah.
And you have them all the way at the
I
bottom.
haven't deleted nothing. So you can see our journey, because you were part of it, our journey from the very beginning to where we are now.
That's wild.
That's funny.
So when you were talking about making the decision from a pursuing player to pursuing the training aspect, how hard was it to make that decision for you? Like for you to be like, damn, I wanted to do this my whole life, and now basically, I'm sure at the time you felt your dreams were crushed because your knee was twice. So how was that?
So the decision wasn't even more of like I decided right then and there. It was more organic. And what I mean by that is, as time went along, I started just getting pulled into the developmental world, because I always told everyone I'm gonna be doing, whether I get paid for it or not, I was gonna be developing myself.
Yeah.
So I was working out and training every day. He was there
Always.
every morning. We was there in the gym, whether that's LA Fitness, the Orlando Magic Rec Center. We were just getting it in, doing some drills, just really trying to improve our game. Some of the guys in the audience, some of our close friends, they were there too. But really, I didn't make a decision that, hey, you know what, I'm going to train guys. It's more so organically transitioned to that, because how I started really developing and training players was I needed more gym time for me. So I wanted more workout time for me. And I would do all my morning workouts, and I was just such a junkie for basketball that I wanted to do afternoon workouts. So how that ended up happening was a good colleague or a mentor of mine, his name is James Grant. For anybody that's been around Kissimmee basketball for years to come, everybody know who James Grant is. He's Keaton Grant's brother, but he's been pretty much around the basketball circuit around Kissimmee, Orlando area. And he had a league that catered to the youth. Like, he had a basketball youth league. and I volunteered to coach 3 teams in return for more gym hours for me to work out. So after I would practice with those 3 teams and coach these 3 teams, he would let me get a side hoop for me to work out by myself.
I actually completely forgot. It's been so long.
That's how long it is.
It's
What,
been
were,
so
what were
long.
you working towards? So as a player, that gym time you were trying to get in, what was that for? Like, what was your goal as a basketball player?
I haven't made the decision yet to, like I said, it wasn't a decision that I promptly made and said, you know what, forget about being a player. I'm going to stick to the developmental side and develop guys. I was just constantly training, but I was just always a step behind.
Right.
I just couldn't get over a hurdle physically. Like, man, this is not it.
So what were you training for? Were you trying to get on a particular team or go in a specific league, or what were you working for?
Yeah, eventually if an opportunity arises for me, I would be at least ready. So I was, constantly reaching out to resources like, hey, are there any tryouts available or any schools, or even as far as trying to go back to the Philippines and play pro.
Okay.
So I was just always constantly reaching out for resources and opportunities to see if they would be available, and I just made sure that I was prepared for myself. So with that being said, I never made a prompt decision and said, I'm not going to be a player anymore. I'm going to continue I'm going to transition to development.
I have to say, after 2 ACL injuries, it takes a lot of willpower to continue to try and play ball after that.
So,
a lot of people, once they tore their ACL, that's it.
It's funny,
and you went through it twice.
He said that first time.
That first time, I actually became like a totally different animal.
First time was
No,
nothing.
the first time was actually a blessing. Like when I found out things about my game that I didn't have before because of that first injury, because I had to reset. So I didn't know. I no longer relied on speed, agility, quickness, although that came back after my rehab and recovery to another level. But I saw the game slower now. I studied the game more. I played more. I started using more skills that I never had throughout high school. So I was exploring more. I was trying to find out who I was more, and I started discovering more about me, about my game that I never had because of that first injury, which was a blessing, because now once my athleticism came back, oh my goodness.
What was it? What was it about that injury? Because it sounds like you hit your first Saiyan level. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
So what was it about?
Super Saiyan 1, yeah.
So what was it about that injury that you feel propelled your game? Was it the fact that you knew your limits, your physical limits at that point?
No, yeah, so I was kind of just putting that in consideration. All right, there might be some physical limits, but once I really recovered, there was no limits. Like, I was jumping higher than I was before. I was faster than I was ever before. I was quicker than I was before. I was stronger than I've ever been before. But because throughout that recovery process, you had to play slower until you were there. So as I was, rehabbing my physical abilities, my game kept inching up. I was discovering things about my game, how to slow the pace down.
I was a part of that too.
Yeah, so even like he was, because he was playing with it. Like, we were playing like massive adult tournaments.
Yeah,
like I'm talking about, we would go to Tampa, Jacksonville. It was crazy. Like,
yeah, he reached like another skill level.
Like, yeah, and then it's funny because his dad would like always critique me, saying, Ryan, if you knew how to shoot, like, your game would be totally different.
So who was better, you or Chris?
I think at that, he was more of a specialist. Like, he was just like a knockdown shooter.
I would say he was a better point guard.
Overall, I think overall,
just point guard.
No, but
just overall, like, I'm a better overall player. But when it comes to shooting, like I'll give it to him. Like, he was a known fact shooter.
For the record, I'm never gonna say anyone's better than me. Just so you know.
But that means he's acknowledging it.
Every
It sounds
basketball
like he's
player
acknowledging
should be, though.
But
that's respect right there. Two greats respecting each other.
Nah,
Right
the thing is, him and I always love playing with one another because we knew we just complimented each other's game.
It's like you would say you were meant to be.
Yeah, it was so meant to be. You want to know how I met this guy? So it was through John Conley and my brother. So my older brother and his older brother used to play ball together, right? So I met these guys. I first met this guy.
This is a false story.
No, it's a true story. All right. He must have been like in the first or second grade. Second grade. I was in third grade because I'm a year ahead of him.
Just to be clear.
So we see his family, and my brother notices John, like, oh, hey, what's up? Because they play like FBVA together starting off, and then they played together throughout their whole life. And then I see this guy. He's wearing like a fucking dragon shirt. Excuse my language, but like,
you ain't gotta worry about it.
He's wearing like a dragon shirt. I'm like, what the hell is this guy wearing?
I was ahead of my times. All these people getting tattoos now, dragons. And shirts of dragons. I was there, first grade, getting the dragons.
And crazy thing
I was ahead of the game.
This is the Filipino side of us. We both had a mushroom haircut.
Oh, I believe that.
Hey, the bowl
Yeah,
cut.
well, good thing none of y'all showed up like that, or I'll be cutting somebody's hair right now, on the spot.
Yeah, so that's how we really met. That was like, man, I want to say like 18, 19 years ago or something like that. But like we've been close pretty much pretty much ever since. But yeah, like he always complimented my game because I was a distributor at heart. So he would always get to his spots, and I would just find him, and he'd knock down shots.
Honestly, there's no one that would really set me up as perfectly as him. He would wait for me to cut full speed across the court and pass
And
it
lead
perfectly
him.
into my
Yeah.
the shooting pocket
So
to shoot.
He was grooming you, so you'd say he groomed your greatness.
I put it this way. I gave
Yeah,
him,
he would.
I gave
He
him a
would.
lot
Yeah,
of.
he definitely supported. For
Yeah.
sure.
So wait, you guys played together that long? How old were y'all when y'all met? Because they weren't. You said the brothers were in high
Yeah,
school.
so I'm a year older than him.
So you were in what, 8th grade at the time?
No, I met him third grade.
Oh
That-
damn!
yeah,
I didn't know y'all knew each
yeah.
other. Because
Yeah,
I didn't.
yeah.
I didn't
It
know
was like
about you
second
till
grade.
high school.
Yeah, but like it's we
Because it was only basketball.
it was only basketball
Yeah,
until we
exactly.
actually got into the same school, which is Den John. Yeah,
Oh, you were at Den John.
Yeah,
Damn,
so-
I totally forgot about that.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's when we really started hanging out in school, when we actually got into the same school.
Yeah.
So but we just knew each other from ball. But yeah. So talking about that, like he complimented what I do. But where were we?
And-
though?
Just short backstory before I forget. So
Yeah.
you grew up in Kissimmee too, where you weren't born here.
I
or
wasn't
were-
born. I was born in Manila, Philippines.
Oh,
Manila,
so you're
Philippines.
real not like this guy.
I'm
You're a real
what-
Pinoy boy.
I'm an island boy.
What,
I love it.
At what age did you come over here?
I was 7.
7.
Yeah.
7.
7. So
Yeah.
so was it do you think it was a culture shock for you? Like coming in, or were you just a kid like
Nah,
whatever?
I was a kid and I grasped the two things very well. Like I learned how to speak English perfectly fine, no accent, no nothing.
Oh, so that wasn't your first language.
No,
What is the
Tagalog.
language? Tagalog?
Tagalog. That's the Filipino language.
Could you say like, "Hey, my name is Ryan" in Tagalog? Just because I never heard it
Shoot,
before.
man.
I never heard it before.
Like in a sexy hotline voice.
Oh man, hold on. I gotta. I'll get back to you
All
later.
right, loop it
He
back.
ain't Filipino.
I
Because
gotta-
I'm the same way with
He ain't
Spanish,
Filipino.
bro.
Yeah,
Like, I can speak it, but I gotta think about it.
Yeah.
I feel you. I feel you.
I
Well,
do.
loop it. I won't forget though. I'm gonna write it
Yeah.
down.
Write it down. Put down your notes.
Tagalog.
So yeah. So back to that story of me grabbing some volunteer time with a youth league.
Right.
Me getting time for myself.
Yeah, so I was gonna say with that, you were still planning on being a player,
I wanted to be a player,
but that got you more into the training world,
Right.
Because I'm assuming some of the kids wanted you to
Right.
train them one on
Yeah,
one.
before I get to that,
Mhm.
and to really speak about me pursuing to be a player, I battled a lot of demons during that moment, like because I was just such a step back. It was like it was a downtime for me. But basketball, being in the gym, to be honest, kept me like on a stable level, right? Because it was just one of those things like, damn, like this is probably over for me. And no matter how hard I tried,
Yeah.
it was just I already knew like, man, I'm never gonna get back to a level where I was at all.
Yeah.
Not even close.
And our height never helped us.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
even no matter how much rehab or therapy I went through, it just never clicked back. But I guess it's just one of those like destiny things, like that wasn't meant for you. So going back to getting some gym time. But when I work out, I go hard, right? So I'm even pulling up 30 feet deep, like swoosh. So like parents and kids were asking James,
He
like,
doesn't even have any idea how far 30 feet is. But
It's like
yeah,
that's like a
so 30
three-pointer.
feet here is like right here,
It's like
like
a-
right here,
So like a 3-pointer, like an NBA
No.
3-pointer.
like further.
more, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
What's,
I could do
Wayne,
that.
what's NBA? 20.
Give me the ball, bro. Pass me one of these balls real quick.
Yeah,
I'll hit
so
that shit right now.
I was at that point where like even as skillful as I was with that, I already knew my body though. Like one, my body was just like aching all the time. It was
Yeah.
hurting. So for me to go that hard all the time, my recovery days would have to be like 2 or 3 days after and not do nothing. So it was just like you just knew, right? But anyways, parents and players would ask James like, "Yo, who is that? Like, what's he doing here? Oh, that's one of our coaches." Like, and they would just ask him like, "Can he train my kids?" And like, go ask him.
That makes sense.
So, so that's how I started getting like small clients lingering.
You didn't
in
even
there.
expect that to happen. Then.
No.
So when you first got asked that question, what was your thought? And like in that moment, instantly, what was it? A positive thought or a negative thought? Like, oh shit, this is a new opportunity, or were you just like, I'm not really trying to do this?
No, I never thought monetizing off of it like in a big aspect, but I was just like, yeah, I'll do it.
Like, just
That's
why
just-
not?
Why not? I'm already here.
Yeah.
So I took advantage of that, and I was just, a single dude, like, just trying to figure his life out. And then I think I was transferring to UCF at that time, like, or on the process of transferring to UCF. But I didn't want to transfer to UCF just yet, just because I wanted to really explore what I can do with the basketball world. Because if I transfer to UCF, that's a Division I school. Like, that's just
All your time is gone at that point,
But
yeah.
like, even so, just Division I school, like, the odds are really against you. Like,
in playing or in getting on the team?
playing,
Okay,
or
yeah,
even
yeah.
getting a team and getting in a team. Like, the odds are really against you. That means you're gonna have to try to walk on. They probably already have preferred walk-ons, and I'm 5'9" without the, extra athletic ability or anything.
Like
that
the
could play-
physical attributes.
Yeah, that could play at that level. So I already knew once I transferred to UCF, it was not to play. So
So you knew when you made that decision, you mean that you were going to focus more towards training?
when I made the decision, I was gonna focus towards more school.
Okay, gotcha.
And then
And then what had you transition to training from that point?
From that point, so I started getting some lingering clients.
You just named a price, and they were like, "All right."
Yeah, well, more so, so I'm,
So did you?
Hold on.
was
There's
this-
plenty
go
of
ahead, go ahead.
tangents that are going to happen.
ahead, go
We'll
ahead.
bring you back. Don't
yeah,
worry.
so I was charging $10 per player.
Damn,
That
that's
is
cheap as
cheap.
fuck. You're giving it away at that point.
Yeah, I was.
You're not even
yeah,
paying your
at,
gas
at
money.
that moment, because I didn't
Especially
know.
now.
I didn't know what the market was at that time. I
Yeah.
didn't know anything about it. It was brand new to me, and this is the height of not the height. This was the golden era of Instagram, where it was popping. Like, you posted whatever. So there was a guy named Dribble Too Much, Handle
Yeah.
Life, and there was a guy named Pat the Rock that was on Instagram during those moments that were just going crazy, taking
Yeah.
over that Instagram moment at 2013.
Training, doing training.
Yeah, so they were doing the ball handling stuff. So that's what really got me to, you know what? I'll start posting some of my drills too. And interactions with those guys, with those two, was probably the catalyst of me thinking, you know what? Let me try it out.
You mean like social
seeing them
or like
or-
actually in person?
Yeah.
So I met both of them in person, but in social media is where we started interacting.
Okay.
Just because you guys were in the same lane.
and
Yeah,
you were
we're the
already
same.
posting training stuff at this point.
Yeah, well,
too?
like just started,
Okay.
started about like maybe I was 10 videos in or whatever the case might be. But Pat the Rock was the most engageful to me, like where he would tell me like, "Oh, that's dope, yo, keep it up," or him and I would message each other, DM each other. It got to a point where he held a clinic here in 2014, and he hit me up like, "Yo, I'm gonna be in Orlando, come through and help me out with the clinic."
Mhm.
So I'm like, "Hell yeah!"
That's
So-
super dope. Hell yeah.
So I go to this clinic. This is where, well, you know what? This is all transparent. I'm cool with these guys anyway. So they partnered up with another training group called O Hoops. They're like the pioneers of training here in Orlando. So they've been here for a long time. So they were like the only training company here in Orlando during that time in 2013 and before. So they were running things. So I go to O Hoops, like, yo, Pat told me to come through and help. You know, I was hoping I'd come in and help, whatever. They made me pay the camp fees to help out.
Oh yeah.
It was like,
as if you were training.
yeah, and it was like $100.
Did they tell you that up front, or it was
No,
a surprise? You
I
got
was
there
surprised, but I was like, whatever. I mean, and
Yeah.
you know,
You weren't pissed about it. You
I
were just
wasn't
like,
pissed
you're
about it.
riding
And
with
then Pat was already all the way in the gym, and Pat saw me like, you're like, yo, yeah, just talk to them, let get a shirt and like come help. And then he left, and then I didn't want to be like, yo, tell Pat like I'm here with him. But
Oh,
no,
so
Yeah.
okay, so there's a potential that it wasn't meant to be that way.
Yeah.
but you didn't want to we make the situation weird. You
yeah,
were just
yeah. So I was
"All right."
like, you know what? Here's $100. All right, did it, and I
Gotcha.
got to help out, and that's how I got in touch with Pat the Rock, and then me and Pat has been pretty cool ever since.
That's why you've gotten to where you have, because you're willing to just do whatever it takes to get in there. Because
Yeah.
a lot of people would have just been like $100. Hell
Yeah.
no, I ain't paying that. I'm
or
leaving.
or they would have risked bringing it up to him and then him being like, "What? You don't think it's worth it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you trying to do
Right.
out here?"
Yeah.
yeah, so I knew the value.
And that's a network that you wanted to keep.
Yeah,
there.
I wanted. Yeah, so the $100 was definitely worth his network, his affiliate.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right. So there wasn't nothing because
They
I
say-
knew if I was gonna make this work, that $100 was gonna tenfold at some
Yeah,
point.
yeah, exactly. And I think that's what
Yeah.
a lot of people don't have that foresight to look that far ahead in time and think, yeah, money might be tight right now. They might be charging you, but
Right.
where are you trying to go and how is this going to pay off? So
Correct.
for you, you basically paid, not literally, but you basically paid to tap into that network
Right.
and elevate yourself. So like they say, networking is everything. So for
Right.
you, would you say at that point your network pretty much was easily expanding from there because
Yeah.
of how he was tapped in?
Absolutely. Definitely. And he almost. All right. So I met Vic Oladipo in multiple occasions, but One of them. Well,
Wait, who's Vic Oladipo? Because I don't watch basketball. So you
Victor
gotta fill me
Oladipo,
in.
he's a 2-time All-Star. He plays for the Miami Heat now, just recovering and rehabbing from a knee surgery. He's legit, but in hopes that he fits in with the Miami Heat now. He's trying to get his way back because he's been hurt. All right, so just
But he's a 2-time All-Star, so he got game.
So
Obviously.
yeah, he got game. But anyways, I met him through a few occasions, multiple times, and one was through Pat. Pat the Rock was the first. I think when Vic was a rookie, he here in Orlando, Pat was working him out. He was training.
Oh yeah, I didn't know.
So one of the sessions that Pat the Rock was doing,
This was the first time.
yeah, he invited me, right, and I just got to watch. So he didn't have to do that.
Was this before or after the other encounter?
Way before.
Okay.
So
Way
this is
before.
your first encounter with Victor Oladipo?
Yeah, but way before. But it was just like one of those, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. But it wasn't like no conversation. I was a shy dude then. Like
To him,
I-
you were some random person who was
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
yeah. So like I didn't even count that as a first meet. It was just one of those like, oh, you with Pat, whatever, cool.
Yeah.
And then from then on, all right. So how I really got my first training opportunity. My guy Wayne had a buddy out there in IMG Academy who was a coach. And Wayne connected like, yo, my guy here in Orlando, he's good. Talk to him. He might be interested in, doing some training in IMG. So his guy reached out to me and put a word in for me, and then I got hired at IMG as a basketball skills trainer. If anybody don't know what IMG is, IMG Academy is a top-notch world sports academy where they develop basketball, football, baseball, golf, tennis.
He's been getting into golf lately. I love
Yeah,
it.
Your boy's hopping on the PGA Pro-Am Tour. Holla at me.
No.
Happy Gilmore over here.
I remember when you were going there, and I remember when you were telling me about the first time the kids were coming up to you to ask for you to train them.
Yeah, because so I guess at that time their training curriculum was very basic, right? Until I really came in there and just like shook everything
For the
up.
league that you were coaching in?
No, this is at IMG Academy. So I'm at IMG Academy now.
Gotcha,
So I
gotcha.
took this
Okay.
opportunity. I think this was 2014. This is 2014 now. I took this opportunity to go over there at Bradenton, Florida.
Which is like by Tampa, basically, outskirts of Tampa.
Yeah,
Right?
like Sarasota, Siesta Key area.
Gotcha.
So I took that opportunity, and that really changed my training perspective. I got to learn a lot about the business in training. I got to learn about the market. I got to learn about the kids. I got to learn how to handle large groups.
That was your first exposure to that information.
Right. And I'm talking about like camps and clinics. Like I never knew how to handle large groups before that.
Like as a trainer, you mean?
As a trainer, like by yourself. I used
That's-
to do like 100 kids a day and train them.
And this is your first time jumping into that type of training.
Yeah.
With, But besides like coaching, which you would coach only like 15 people, but
Right. Or when you do like
Max.
small sessions, it'd be like 10
you
guys.
were
yeah.
doing small sessions at that time.
For
this is-
James, but like this was through his league, and then
Okay.
so he'll like put something together. Like,
But
yo,
you
train
weren't
them.
doing them on your own.
Nah,
at this
not on my
time.
own. Not as 2-hands basketball.
Okay.
I think at that time it was called 2-hands ball handling at first.
For real?
Yeah,
that's
I do
rough.
not
That's a
remember.
rough one. That's a
Yeah,
rough
2-hands ball handling at first, because I was like, yo, that's
don't-
gotta change, because like I
one.
didn't
Ball handling?
listen. But that's what. All right, with it,
I don't remember this ever being called 2-hands.
2-hands ball handling.
handling.
I had to make a
Two
change.
hands.
I had to make the change, right? Because everyone just saw me as a ball handling coach.
Yeah.
Morty, put these in your ass, Morty.
Oh, jeez, Rick.
But
My bad, go
I
ahead.
know that. So I didn't want to have that like, oh, that stigma. Like, oh, he's just a ball handling coach. He doesn't really know basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In reality, I'm a junkie for this. Like, so even the thing now, even till today, don't worry, we'll get back to the story. But
For sure.
even till today, I got the niche of being a ball handling coach. But when people really start training me, they get surprised. Like, damn, this dude knows so much about the game. I'm a junkie
Aside
for
from
this.
ball handling.
Aside from ball handling, I just know a lot of aspects of the game to the T, because this is all I do. I'm a junkie for this. So
Yeah.
Would you consider yourself the craziest person for basketball that you know?
no, that's the crazy part. I have a mentor who's out of this world.
And mentor in the basketball realm.
realm.
Okay.
I have a business mentor, and then I have a basketball mentor.
That they're two different people.
Two different people.
Okay.
Who's your
Two different
basketball
lanes.
mentor?
His name is Michael Lancaster of
Okay, yeah.
I'm Possible Training. I thought I was crazy. He's on another level.
You know what's crazy is I used to watch the videos before
Yeah.
we even graduated high school. I
Yeah, he
used to
started
watch
like
his videos.
2007. He started like 2006, 2007.
I
That's
used
when
to
he
watch
started
his
training.
videos on YouTube, and then when you told me that you
Yeah.
were, he was gonna be your mentor and teaching you some things, I was like, oh damn, I remember him. I used to watch his videos. He was
Yeah.
one of the only people posting on YouTube
Right.
legit training videos.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So that's how he really got popular. He did a whole YouTube thing, and I still have this email till this day. Like he reached out to me personally, like, "Hey, I'm Michael Lancaster. I think you really have a lot of potential. Here's my cell phone number. Call me if you'd like to be part of our umbrella sometime. Like we'd love to have you, be part of our organization."
Oh shit!
So,
So he found you through that academy you were talking about, IMG?
No, he found me through my Instagram,
Oh shit!
which is the craziest thing.
Dang,
But
that's a story right there. Bro.
yeah. So that's like 2 years after IMG. No, as a matter of fact, that's 2 years in IMG.
So
And this was during my last year in IMG. But like back to IMG, like that first year, I met a lot of connects. I met a lot of people. I was training some NBA guys for the first time. Guys like Iman Shumpert. He played at Knicks, Cleveland, a whole bunch of other teams. Rodney Hood, Amari Stoudemire. This was during Amari Stoudemire's decline, though. Just a lot of like pre-draft guys as well.
So you were planting the seed in all these different realms of training and basketball.
Yeah.
And they all just happened to fall together at good times for you. So what would you say? I mean, not only at good times, but obviously you were putting in the work
Right.
to be in those positions. So through this whole story you just gave us, what do you think was one or two or whatever amount of the biggest challenges that you faced along the way? Because I'm sure every time you were opened up to another opportunity, your view opened up and like, okay, maybe I could do this. What were those challenges along the way that you think were the biggest ones?
I think was when I really wanted to just branch out and be my own thing. I think that was the biggest challenge because I didn't know where to start. Like, damn, where am I going to train? What model am I using? How am I going to make this a very sufficient training model where business is going to pretty much take care of itself? So
From
I think,
scratch, you mean?
yeah, from scratch. So that to me, because I'm not business savvy at that point. I was not business savvy. I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew that I had a product though. I knew I had a service that people would want at some point. So from that, I just started building from there. But I started after 2 years at IMG, within my last year at IMG Academy, so my mentor reached out to me, to do a whole certification to be under his brand, whatever. I flew out to Boston. And that's where I did my certification. I think he was training Avery Bradley. Avery Bradley was playing
the I'm Possible training certification.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
To be like part of their official squad. You mean?
yeah, exactly. So I think he was training like Avery Bradley at that point when he was at Boston during that time. Yeah, so I got certified under him and such. Then go back. I did a few more months at IMG, and I was like, all right, I can't do this no more because it didn't match my vision anymore. I mean, it wasn't bad pay.
When did you see that? How did it not match the vision that you had for what you wanted to do?
It was just so routine, and it was more so I was a slave to their system.
Just a cookie cutter system, and you were an assembly line worker on it. Basically.
Yeah. So for instance, like when I would work out NBA guys, I was just rebounding, and then they would only make me do my thing with campers, which is essentially where the market. I'll explain that later where the market is at anyway. But
they already had NBA guys on that, like going through that training. Then
because they have an agency connected and partnered up with them, so they had like
But I feel like from what you're saying, IMG Academy was probably one of the key experiences for you to be able to feel comfortable going into your own.
Yeah.
Because you saw how the big shots were running their training. And then you kind of could build off of that and make it your own and customize it.
Correct. So I saw how they ran their business, and I saw the model they were doing, and just gave me kind of an idea how to start at least.
Yeah.
So that's gave me the comfortability. Like, you know what? No one's doing it in Kissimmee no one's doing Kissimmee, but in Central Florida, only O Hoops was doing it.
Yeah.
And you already knew kind of how they operated because you were in cahoots with Pat, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So for you, you said that it didn't align with your vision. So at that point in time, because I know your vision might have changed over time, but at that point,
right,
what was your vision that wasn't aligning with what they had? What was it you were trying to accomplish?
It was more so the curriculum. There was just a lack of curriculum, a lack of teaching points, and not the way I like to get, I like to operate
Your
as far
style.
as training.
Right.
We're talking about just training. They have a phenomenal business model because First of all, to go to IMG Academy, I just want people to know it's like $2,000 a week
Dang.
per player.
And how many weeks
That's
are people
it?
usually spending?
Oh, they
just
they'd
kidding.
stay there the whole summer.
That's
One
it?
kid
No.
would stay there the whole summer, and you get about 200-300 kids in there.
The whole summer?
The whole summer.
We're talking, what, 8 weeks then?
Yeah, 8, 9, 10 weeks, and then there's guys that actually that stay in campus to go to school the whole year, and it's like $90,000 for the year per player. So,
I
yeah.
hope they're going NBA D1, dog.
Well, that's like a lot of these.
You think that's an
kids-
implied thing? Like you're gonna
Well,
at least get benched in the NBA?
No, not really.
No,
It's a lot of these
definitely
kids.
not.
A lot of these kids come from overseas though, so
Okay.
either they're really good and their national team are paying for that,
So they got money.
or they're really good and they probably got a tuition, so, like a tuition scholarship somewhere.
yeah. Gotcha.
So one or the other, but it's being paid for by someone. So their model was, don't go after like the regular guy. We're going after guys like out there in Greece that can, pay for it or whatever.
Right, exactly. I got you.
Okay. And then after IMG and then getting trained with Mika Lancaster, from that point, where was 2Hands Basketball? Did you already change the name?
Yeah,
to
I changed the
2Hands?
name there. So like I was still in IMG, so I changed the Instagram. So the thing with 2Hands Basketball, it was only an Instagram account at that point. It wasn't a full out.
And this is
brand
when
yet.
Instagram could only post up 15-second videos.
Correct.
So
Yes.
you did
So-
change it at this point from ball handling
to 2 Hands
2 Hands
Basketball.
Basketball.
Yeah. So I think I did that once I got into IMG.
And was
I did
this
2
when
Hands
you were
Basketball.
doing training like but you were doing training still at James's league, or
So I was doing
were
that.
you doing it in LA Fitness?
I was doing
stuff
that.
Like
I was doing LA Fitness, and then this is when I finally. And this is another crucial part. One of my friends, you remember Nick that used to play at FCC, the point guard?
I faintly remember. Yes, white guy.
White guy.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be politically incorrect.
That's
but,
that's just
Hey,
correct.
if
There's
he's-
no politically
If
correct.
he's white, he's white.
He's white.
white guy, Caucasian guy.
Yeah.
But that's
How
my
would
guy
the
regardless.
cops describe him?
Oh man, nice fluff hair, nice tone. But
Yeah,
nah,
yeah.
that's a crucial part to actually start in 2Hands Basketball because he connected me with the AD at what is now called Johnson's University. It used to be called Florida Christian College, and they had a court for that. I was using their team's basketball court.
Yes, that's
So
right.
2 times a week, I was able to get access to it. I think it was for free the first year. Then I started getting rental fees. So for the first year, for 2 times a week, allowed me to establish myself as a brand and let people know I'm doing training now as a service. So that's when I had to create a model for a 2 times a week access. And then for any privates or personals, that's where I had to get creative, whether that's train outdoors, train in some kind of membership gym like an LA Fitness or some kind of recreational center that was, by the way, Kissimmee Civic Center banned me from training. We'll
Because
get
you
to
were
that
there
later.
too much?
Kissimmee Civic Center did?
Yeah.
So this is before you had a facility.
Yeah, this is before I had a facility.
Okay.
Kissimmee Civic Center banned me, all right, because I guess this is where the hype was starting to really be for real, right?
Like in terms
Yeah.
of your
So
training.
I'm training guys.
Whenever you get banned, that's how you know it's real.
Shout out Juan.
Shout
I wish I knew his
Shout out
IG
the band
name.
life. It's all about the band life, right? So I got banned from Kissimmee Civic Center to train because they knew who I was. This specific, quote unquote, they knew who I was, and even though we paid our daily fees, because you got to pay like $5 fee. I tell my client, all right, pay your $5. I pay the $5, and then whatever you owe me, we'll do it in the back end later.
Yeah.
And I'm training, and the staff member comes up to me like, hey, you can't train here. I'm like, nah, we're just working out. I pay my $5, he paid his $5. Yeah, we know who you are. So that quote unquote. Like, we know who you are. So I was just like, all right.
Damn, they've been
That's
watching
crazy.
your ass, dog.
So
how'd you feel at that time? Did you feel like, damn, this sucks, or like, damn, they know who I am?
nah, that's yeah, damn. They know who
Yeah.
I am. So that kind of motivated me, like, all right, cool. Y'all ain't gonna stop me because this is gonna keep rolling.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
that's a
So-
big deal if a whole unit knows who you are.
But the thing is, they try to offer me a deal after, like, hey, like if you really want to train here, talk to our administrator about doing like a percentage breakout.
So it
Whatever.
actually worked out for an opportunity.
Yeah, but I
Did
never
you
took
take
it.
You never took it?
I never took it. It was just like they were asking for way too much. I was like, whoa.
Oh,
Damn,
okay.
that's crazy because when I think of Kissimmee Civic Center, I think Tra Festivals, middle school, Kissimmee Civic Center, no alcohol, no drugs, just good times. Officer Feliciano, shout out.
So
Yeah, I was getting flashbacks as I was training kids. I was like, oh, look at that corner.
Nah, so
Look at that corner.
After that,
exactly.
so where else were you training though? After you couldn't go back to the Civic Center anymore?
Everywhere.
Just
Everywhere,
in like LA
anywhere.
Fitnesses.
LA
or what?
Fitnesses. You had that unlimited access to all LA Fitnesses. So wherever the kid was located, we'll go to the nearest one. Outdoor courts.
How
I was
far?
training at Lakeside. I trained at Mill Run a few times. I trained like anywhere.
You were doing
yeah.
that on top of training in the
Yeah,
Florida Christian
so-
College's gym.
Yeah, so my Florida Christian College, I only had access twice a week. So I would make that
Okay.
for my large group sessions because that was more
Yeah.
feasible. Like,
I
that way.
remember. I actually remember that. I completely forgot you were doing training in there. But all I would remember was
Forgot a lot.
what
Oh, and then Faith
What-
Christian, but that came a little after though. Faith
Okay.
Christian School at Neptune. Yeah.
I remember when because I was helping him with the camp, and everyone would get nervous whenever Ryan asked us for one of the coaches to come help demonstrate. And I'm just like, what's Ryan got me doing now? I have no idea what the drill is gonna be, and then all the kids are watching me, and I'm like, damn, I can't mess up. I can't mess up.
And I'm yelling at Chris every time he messes up, like, "Come on, coach!"
I was like, man, this guy Ryan ain't paying. I'm out of here.
But yeah, that's how I really started grinding. So for anybody that wants to start something, and they can reach it. It's feasible. But
How long was it?
Yeah.
So far from my bad, but from the beginning of the story we started to the point you're talking about where he's helping you at training programs. Well, how much time has elapsed since then? Like what, a couple years? Like 2
7.
years? 7 years.
7
Okay,
years,
so a
yeah.
long time.
Long time, yeah.
So this is so far a 7-year grind from transitioning from a player to training people.
No, 7 years from when he was helping me out. From
okay, so-
from being a player to transit, that was like a 2-year, organic
Okay.
transition.
Now,
Yeah.
how much more time before you start having your own official company and location? Is this your first location where we're at
This
now?
is my like official location where I'm operating full time.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, oh, by the way, I didn't catch it in your intro. Did you shout out to our second official sponsor?
I didn't.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you letting us use the spot, man, for the podcast.
Anytime, man. Anytime.
Clearly, you appreciate it. So, just thank you, man.
Yeah,
Anytime,
man, thank you.
anytime.
So, how much more time was it until you had your own spot? Again?
So when I started like doing the trainings, like really putting the models together, I, just really put it on paperwork that we're gonna be an official company, like an LLC
Mhm.
and all that stuff. Which I'll speak to later. I'll speak later about that because there's just multiple ways you could open up a company.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I was like an official LLC. Had my liability insurances all lined up and all that. So I was doing things the right way, like
Right.
taxes and all that stuff. So it was around 2015, 2016.
So, your main lesson would be for people who want to start something up from scratch. You said just grind at it.
Grind
What
it.
else would you say is your biggest thing other than that for them?
Put a plan together. I mean, obviously some plans don't go accordingly, but that's why you got to have steps. So if this certain thing doesn't work, okay, what can branch out of it? So just putting a plan together, being patient, stay ready because a lot of opportunities will open up if you just stay ready and just, keep planning, mapping out your vision. That's key. You got to map out your vision. Even though I could take that advice a little better nowadays, but I think this is where I'm gifted at the most. Everything is in here.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to get my guys that's under me now to everything that I have here. I'm trying to put it out there to them. So for any reason that I step out, I know my place is in good hands. I think it's a gift and a curse though.
Is that verbally mostly? Because when you say it's locked up in here, that means that makes me feel like, just from my business experiences, I would be like, damn, that means if he's not here, shit's gonna fall apart.
Well, this is where I do a lot of mentorship with my guys, like not verbally, but physical things, things how I want things done. Sometimes we'll have meetings, just making sure that we all have a plan and strategy. Even now, we can get better too. I want to get more weekly meetings with my guys. Hey, this is our plan for the week. Let's really map out the week and let's hit some goals.
With coaches?
Yeah, with my coaches.
So
my trainers.
is that your main part of your staff is coaches?
Yeah, trainers.
And
yeah.
about how many of those do you have?
I have 3 right now.
So 3, and then that's not including any other person.
Who are they?
Man, some guy named Dub, Dub, aka Wayne.
So Coach Wayne, who the other coaches?
Coach Jesus and Coach Jamel, really good guys.
How long have they been with you?
Wayne's been on and off helping me out. Wayne's one of my best friends too, so he's been helping me out.
And
on
you're letting
off,
him off? That's
like-
unacceptable.
But he's been officially been under me this year, official. And then I had Jesus and Jamel for about 2 years now.
How is that size of a team working for you based on your current like coaching schedule, do you feel like you easily could use more coaches, or it's all right?
No, I think we're perfect at where we're at right now, especially with our the numbers we generate and how I can compensate and make sure it's they're taken care of. We're perfect at where we're at right now, and I can see us growing tremendously in the next year or so because I've already started showing them the patterns of where we're going, and it's really incredible.
That's what I was going to ask you in terms of those patterns and like future plans. And I asked this more from the business perspective because the business I'm in, which is obviously barbering, or you could call it men's beauty, men's fashion, the scaling of business is a lot different from an organization like this, where you're utilizing a service with multiple people at a certain time. So for you, when you look at those numbers and you think about what you're at now, and how you're going to scale the business, I imagine your vision now for your company is much larger than what you are now, like maybe a global national status.
Right.
So how do you view those numbers changing, and how do you prepare for that ahead of time with your team?
So I mean that's why the weekly meetings are very imperative for us, so we can really understand how we can take those goals, like really knock those goals and checklist it. Because if we're not on the same page, it don't even matter what I have here. It's not going to work. So that's why for me it's imperative that I make sure that we're on the same page. But even so, like you said, I do have larger goals now because the way we're scaling the business is on a whole nother level now. I was just showing Wayne some patterns and numbers the other day, and we were just like, yo, that's crazy. And then I'm on the verge of trying to get a second location.
Oh, shit.
So, like, I want my trainers to run this one as I'm building the other one and then repeat that process multiple times. And hopefully I have a location in every corner of Central Florida, or even just on the coast,
for sure,
west side and east side. Just have one on every corner, and eventually, and this is coming from one of my mentors as well. Hopefully, I build it to a point where I can sell, because
that's what your end goal is. That then.
Sell.
Is it as soon as possible?
Not as soon as possible. As long as not as soon as possible. It's more so when it's it's the right move.
So that's interesting to me because based on what it seems like your visions and goals are later, as an ignorant person to the plan, based on your current vision of what you can create and your love for the sport and what you're doing, why would you want to sell as soon as it would make sense? Like for you, like what would be considered it making sense? Like what ultimate goal are you trying to achieve for yourself?
Multiple seven figures.
For the
selling.
one company? Okay.
Yeah, like, well, and the thing too, like if I sell, obviously if I have multiple shops, right? It's gonna be multiple seven figures.
And you wouldn't want to work again after that, or would you still
I'd train. I can always train. At the end of the day, I can always train, and someone's always gonna want me. But which is something that I got to deal with when I eventually sell. Like, okay, I sell, but I work under you for about a year and a half, whatever the case might be.
Got you. To stabilize the transition.
Yeah, stabilize the transition.
But
correct.
this is something you're thinking like 10, 20 years?
Like 10 years from now, maybe. But I feel in 5 years, I think we'll have 3 shops open.
Yeah.
Damn, but that's I like that. That's ambitious.
How long was the transition from you doing camps at rented out facilities to having your own facility like that?
So I started really doing camps like at 2015. Yeah, like 2015. 2018 is when I started this facility. So 3 years. So it was a 3-year transition from officially being a business, like, all right, I'm an official company, putting the paperwork, I'm renting out gyms. 3 years later, I have a facility.
That's quick, man.
And you were producing enough income to feel like it's better to move up to my own facility, doing those camps by renting out facilities?
I took a leap of faith. And I'll speak about partnership in a bit too. A leap of faith and some partnership. We opened this facility, started out with a partnership. There's 3 of us. One of them is no longer with me. The other one, anonymous, we'll just keep it anonymous. He's still with me, but it works out. The other one's no longer with me because of like just unethical business.
No, that's a key point, bro. You can't have that shit.
Yeah, so it was unethical business, and we, parted ways. We agreed to part ways. But
kind of like me and you, I wanted to start my own 3Hands basketball, and we parted ways.
I would have sued. Lawsuit. Oh yeah, you better tell Dan Hewlin it's coming.
I would have been testifying for 2Hands on that one.
Nah, but continue.
But But yeah, so it was just
How
that's
long after establishing this location was that separation with that
about a
third
year.
Okay.
But like
But
the
you
vision
knew what
was
was
there.
going on. You knew what was going on.
Yeah, I knew what was going on, but like I just let it go, and then it just came to an organic separation, which was the best thing that could ever
Yeah,
happen.
yeah. You couldn't ask for more than that.
Yeah, like it is what it like. Good. So now I
Yeah.
can operate fully with no distractions.
I'm waiting for Chris to fall off the podcast just like that.
But yeah, so
There would
we
be no
we
podcast.
started the partnership to build this facility off of vision, and it could have worked. It should have worked, but it didn't work. Just because of just agendas and whatever, hidden agendas or whatever. But that's as as nice as I could put it. And I think that's as open I'd like to go with it. But for anyone that's want to do partnership, make sure it makes sense. Make sure it's the visions are lined up and the actions are also lining up with it. All right. So in my end, everything lined up for me, and then it's the opposite end. Everything just didn't add up. Is one more this thing like, wait, what? Like numbers weren't matching.
For sure.
Yeah. So
Well, you got to watch the numbers, man. Numbers don't lie. But I'm
Yeah.
not good with numbers, so it's a problem for me.
But it was a good experience for you to
yeah,
grow.
very good experience for me to grow, and it allowed me to move business savvy. Like if I was from now, I move everything with this here, just everything just straight business. Like
For sure. You have to
Yeah.
separate that. You can't
Yeah.
mix the two. It starts getting real shady.
correct,
So let's jump into the more of your training.
right?
Who was the first professional person that you trained, or who somebody that you think that took your training as far as marketing and stuff like that to the next level, gave you more credentials as a trainer?
That'd be Kemba Walker. This is when he was the man at Charlotte Hornets. So I had a guy under me named Tyshawn Patterson. He was training a guy named Edgar Sosa. He was under us too. And then Edgar Sosa's best friends with Kemba Walker, so they played high school together over there in the Bronx.
Okay.
So that's how that connection really, that's how we, got that connection from that. And then we started training Kemba for 2 years. And he really, him being in the gym with us really took our training to the next level because more people believed in it.
Yeah.
And once more people believed in it and bought in, people started, like, not that they weren't getting better, but the results were like, very, very, like,
Do you think that was because at that point, once seeing an NBA player in the gym, their focus and determination as to what the training in here could do to them was more legit because they had an actual visual representation
right,
of what that
exactly.
represents?
So that visual representation was very big. So they got a guy like Kemba Walker. I think it was like a two-time All-Star. He was a one-time All-Star at that time, and then he got 2 more All-Stars after the 2 years.
So
he
you
worked with
made
us.
him 2
I didn't
more
make
All-Stars.
him at 2 more All-Stars. We just facilitated in
Yeah.
that process.
For sure,
But
for
I
sure.
never make a player. I never take credit for a player. I just kind of give them a blueprint, and then when they follow through, they see the results. When they don't, it's like anything. Somebody
Yeah.
can, they gave you a plan. You got to follow through the plan.
Did you see a big growth in your business after you started training him?
Yeah.
And because a lot of players that go into basketball, their first thought is going to the NBA. So when and I'm sure it probably brought your training to the next level credential wise,
Yeah.
because kids are looking at you. Yeah, you're a good trainer. You're doing all these things, even if they are NBA level. Now you're actually training an NBA All-Star, and now they're like, this is the guy. He knows what he's talking about just because of that. Even if
Yeah.
you knew what you were talking about before that.
Right, but he just kind of put the icing on the cake. Like,
Exactly.
That credibility was there.
So in like for this area, Central Florida, Kissimmee area for sure, it's like, all right, he's arrived. Like
Yeah.
Ryan and 2Hands have arrived. Like this is it. Like that was the icing on the cake, and then everything really just exploded after that. Yeah.
How did that feel for you? Did you feel like you accomplished, like you were like, it was a milestone, you felt it at that time, or was it still so surreal? You were just doing what you were
Nah,
doing?
I was a fanboy. Not like oh my god, I kept. Nah, it was like, oh man,
To
like
know that you were
dang,
there.
like this is a one-time NBA All-Star, and this dude was legit in the league and in college. So for me to be in the gym around that guy, I was just like, damn. And this it's funny though, because before we were training him that summer, I was doing breakdowns of Kemba already. So I guess some kind of manifestation just happened throughout that moment. Because like I was doing a lot of breakdowns for Kemba. I'm talking about like I'm posting it. I'm posting on Instagram. Like I'll show you like when we first started training Kemba and videos before of me breaking down Kemba's moves.
Right.
So for that to happen that was I think the most surreal part for
What
me.
made you focus in on? Granted, again, I'm ignorant on basketball. Is Kemba like a significant like ball handler? What made you focus in on him?
Like very shifty, very crafty. Speed, like he had the speed, had the ability to hit tough shots, and in a skillful manner, skillful perspective. I was breaking down a lot of his moves.
Okay.
So but he was good though. He was legit.
How
was
was his demeanor? Okay, so I know you had already been around a professional before, but when they were coming to you for training,
yeah.
what was? I'm sure you. I mean, I would imagine you might have had some butterflies. Like, damn, first time training a pro. Like, what was that interaction like on a surface level before the actual training began?
I actually called one of my other mentors through the same umbrella as well. I'm Possible with Micah, but one of their other guys.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, at least, he was he was with I'm Possible. I think he just does his own thing now. His name's Andrew Moran out there in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
So he was training like Mario Chalmers. He was training a whole bunch of like NBA guys down in Miami. So I called him before working out Kemba, like, yo, I'm about to have Kemba walk in the gym right now. Any advice? He was like, yo, bro, you got this. Do what you do. Treat it like any other player. Find his weaknesses. Go off that and make it into a strength, and then play off his strengths and then let it flow that way. But he said, you got this. Like, you're good. And once I got the reassurance, everything just like, all right.
So
showtime.
you actually you didn't treat him when he came onto the court as an NBA player.
No,
you
yeah.
treated as a player who had his own weaknesses.
Correct.
And you didn't look
And
at
I think
it
that's
any further.
I think that's what he enjoyed about the workouts was because it wasn't like your ordinary NBA workouts. Because if you ever look at an NBA ordinary workout, for those that don't know what that looks like, it's very, very
like cookie cutter.
And it kind of just manages roles. So if your role was this, we're only
Okay.
going to work on this.
Gotcha.
Which is fine. It's vital. It's very important because remember, franchises are investing so much into you.
Yeah.
But the way we do things is we tackle the skill perspective. We want to make sure that your hands are operating fluidly. We want to make sure that your footwork's up to par. Your ability to be creative around the glass, around the rim is up to par. So that's how we attack things. And for him, I think it was like a sense of breath of fresh air.
So
Like,
I'm
oh, wow,
visualizing.
like-
I'm visualizing when you explain it that way. Like, let's say you're creating a player and you have like his master skill over everything, and then individual things. The NBA would train those individual skills versus where you were looking at his master skill over all platforms and trying to build on those over one particular thing that the NBA would want them to do.
No, that's the thing. The NBA would have them work on that one particular
Right,
thing.
but you were looking at the master line and trying to build them as a player overall.
Overall, yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, correct.
Gotcha.
And how long were you training him?
We trained him for 2 years, like summers,
years?
off seasons. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, two summers.
Damn, that's a good stretch.
Who is there anybody else that you would say who was your second professional?
The
big
one
guy.
that extensively gave me the most training opportunity would be Victor Oladipo.
Okay.
That my run-ins with him are interesting. The
That's
first
what I
one-
want to touch on because you keep making it seem like there's a story.
was there,
It sounds
yeah.
like
Chris was
there's
there.
something
Chris was
there.
there. Wayne was there. Wayne was there. So if anybody don't know Wayne, he's out there in the crowd
Hey,
right
shout
now.
out Wayne, boy.
Yeah. Yeah, so Chris was there, Wayne was there. So that second interaction was, I think, the first time all right, we know each other now.
So
like,
this story we're about to go into is the
all right, so
second
it's my
time.
brother's birthday, right?
After the first time with Pat, you saw him.
Yeah.
Way after.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is my brother's birthday. All right. By the way, this is non-affiliated with my brand. This is my personal.
No. We were at a luxury, an entertainment area.
We were in an entertainment club.
Yes.
Where there just tends
Okay.
to be gentlemen.
Yeah.
So we were in an entertainment club. My brother's birthday.
Put the mic closer.
Oh yeah, we were in an entertainment club, and it was my brother's birthday. And we're having a good time.
Shout out
Chris
Nico.
was there. Shout out my brother. Wayne was there. As a matter of fact, Wayne was coming off surgery. He came in there with crutches.
He came in as clutches.
He came in there with. Were you there? Worm, were you there?
crutches.
Worm was there. All right.
Shout out Worm, boy.
So
Shout out everybody in the live audience today, by the way.
Worm was there. Worm was there. Yeah, Worm was there. So we get our own section, right? And then next to this section, there's a room, like a private room section. I guess that's where the big ballers go.
That's where I go when I go.
All right. This is, by the way, a highly known entertainment club in Orlando.
Yeah.
All right. But there's a room section, right? And someone sticks his head out. Guess who it was?
Victor Oladipo.
Victor Oladipo. I'm like, yo, that's Vic. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna introduce myself, whatever.
Wait, so you went into the room?
No, he was just sticking his head out. Like, I
Okay.
just came because it's right next to our section.
But hey, so he was still head out. In the
Yeah, head out. Like, for instance, like I'm there. Let's say I'm Vic. You're there. Or
Okay.
you're me.
Okay.
And like I'm just like he's like checking out the scene, right? Checking out the scene, whatever the case might be. So I just like, yo, I'm gonna say what's up to him. I'm gonna say what's up and introduce him. So I say what's up, like, yo, Vic, what's up, man? My name's Ryan. I run a basketball training company. As a matter of fact, Vic's manager was Ty's like family friend or something like that. So I mentioned Ty, like, yo, I think Ty has shown you some of my videos, with the basketball training. I'd love to work with you sometime, let me know. And then he was like, yeah, he did. Like, yo, I saw some stuff, some good stuff, whatever. And Vic's security, like 2 big dudes, and Vic's manager comes out of nowhere like, yo, you too close to Vic, yo. You too close to Vic. You got to back up, man. You got to back up. So I'm like, all right, cool. And I'll tell you a funny connection story after that, all right? So
Hold on. I'm gonna forget it. Connection story. Go for it.
yeah, so we'll go back to that. So his manager is telling him like, you Bill, back off, yo, back off. Whatever the case might be. And that was that. That was my second encounter with Vic. Before
And
I
I'm
started
seeing
training.
this from afar, from
Yeah.
the couch, just watching. Look at this guy, Ryan, man. Making those moves, man.
So like, but like even like, so that ties into like, let's say that situation with Pat where I paid $100. I don't
Yeah.
care. I'm putting
Exactly.
myself out there. I don't care.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
The worst that can happen is no.
Right.
And you're right in
And
the
then
same
you're-
place.
yeah, exactly.
It
You
don't
have
even
that
matter.
drive.
So for anybody that's want to do something, who cares? The worst gonna happen is no,
Exactly.
and you're still where you're
And
at.
exactly.
Now someone says yes. The game changes.
So go through with some of your how you ended up started training with Vic.
All right, so
And where were you training?
all right, so a little backstory before we get there.
hmm
So there's a guy named Jay Henderson. He played at Louisville. He played out here in Orlando with Lake Highland Prep. It was like one of Ty's like guys or whatever, like Ty's family friend, whatever the case might be. Right. He brought him in the gym with me so I was training both of them together. And then I knew that he was connected with Vic because his dad is Vic's manager. So the same guy that threw me out, right, that pushed me away, is his dad.
Oh, he was one of those dudes in the club.
No,
No,
like
his
I
dad.
knew him before though. I
Okay.
knew Jay. I knew little Jay. Which, by the way, the manager's name is Big J because that's
Okay.
the dad. And Lil J, I knew Lil J from training, so I trained him. Whatever, we were in the gym, cool. And then Micah was training. They hired Micah first, right, to train. So Lil J's training with Vic. Both of them are training with Micah. And I'm seeing it on video. I'm like, yo, that's my guy Jay. Whatever the case might be. Then a few months later, whatever. This is 2018. Yeah, 2018. Micah calls me like, hey, I'm gonna be in Miami for some time. Just offering an invite for you to help me train Victor Oladipo. Like, come through, whatever the case might be. I know you're, he was using sarcasm, but at the same time, he knew that I was on my way. He was like, I know you're already established, but if you want to help me train Vic, let's get it.
Yeah.
So whatever. But I was like, hell yeah, 100%. Drove to Miami, booked a hotel for about a week, and I'm assisting that training. So this is one of the things that I wanted to do. We never had an opportunity to do it. Hopefully one day that presents itself. I wanted him and Kemba to train together while they were hot.
Oh, that would've been dope.
While they were hot, because they were too hot. No, pause. I'm about to say too hot guards, but
And you wanted to work on their ball handling.
yeah, their name was big, and then there were 2 All-Stars at that time. This was 2018, so that's 4 years ago. They were All-Stars in the NBA, so I wanted them in the same gym together. So I asked Mike, I'm like, yo, would y'all want to work out together if that can ever happen? And be coordinated, Kemba and Vic in the same gym. That would have been crazy.
What'd they say to that?
They were like, yeah, like, so Vic already knew Kemba. Kemba was like, yo, Kemba, that's like my bro. Like, ask him if he wants to work out with me.
So what happened?
It just never worked out. Like, just
Like timing?
conflicting schedules and stuff. So
Damn.
we just never had an opportunity to really coordinate.
That's hard to believe that with all the. I mean, I guess not when you look at like an NBA athlete training schedule, but hard to believe like you wouldn't have a same trainer and be able to make that work. Like that's rough, man.
But I wasn't training Vic full time at that time.
It was just like a whenever type of thing.
I was assisting training Vic at that time.
Okay.
So it was my mentor Micah.
So if you were his head trainer, that probably would have been
That it would have happened.
Okay.
I would have made it. I would have made calls and tried to make it happen. But it never happened. But I wish that would have happened. So yeah. So fast forward. That same summer we get Kemba again, whatever the case might be. Fast forward again. When did I start training Lil J? 2019. I started training Lil J consistently now. No, as a matter of fact, I'm sorry. Backtrack. Bryce, another trainer under I'm Possible. So this is how close we are and connected we are. So we all get our hands on pretty much like, if we have a big player, we put our own input to it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how good of an umbrella I'm Possible is. So it's really powerful. So Micah was training Vic, but then he had one of his other main guys, Bryce, training Vic. I would say Church, but Church Boy had a lot to do with Church Boy is a dude named Josh. He's another trainer for I'm Possible, but because I never really assisted Vic with him, that's why I'm not mentioning him much. But he did had a lot to do with training Vic too. Bryce called me. They were in Orlando. Bryce called me like, "Yo, I need help training Vic. Come through."
Right.
So we go to a gym in Orlando, Jewish Community Center out there by 535. That's where we were at. And this is when Vic got hurt. I think Vic got hurt. He had knee surgery, so he was coming off knee surgery.
Okay.
The first one. So he's coming off knee surgery. So we're just doing a lot of like, form shots, mechanics, ball handling, all that stuff. Hold on, excuse me. Sorry, I got the bad case of allergies right now. So he's coming off knee surgery. So we're assisting him, and then Jay's with us. Lil Jay's working out with us. And then Lil Jay said like, "Yo, I'm gonna be back in a few months. Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm gonna be back in a few weeks. I'm gonna be here like full time though, so I want to work out." So that's how me and Lil J got reconnected, and then we started working out full time. This was like October 2019, and then from October all the way through the rest of the year, we've been training day in and day out. And this is when I officially got the call to train Vic full time, like not full time, but like officially, like me,
like you personally as a trainer.
I put my inputs in, right? I was training Lil J, and Lil J was like, "Yo, my dad wants to talk to you," because his dad is Vic's manager. Like, "Yo, my dad wants to talk to you." So
who's also Vic's dad?
No. It's Lil
J's not related to him?
No.
Okay, my bad. I totally got mixed up.
Nah. So Lil J and Big J are father and son.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Big J manages Vic.
Gotcha. Okay, my bad.
So I got so he called like, "Yo, I need you to come out here to Indiana and train Vic." So like, "Oh hell yeah, I'm out." So they gave me out there. No, I'm sorry, we're in Dallas. The first one was Dallas. Like, "Yo, I need you to come out here in Dallas and work out Vic." So I go to Dallas. We use the Mavericks facility, and we're working out there. Cool, legit, like crazy time. Like damn, I'm training Vic for his comeback, his first comeback. So like we stay connected then, and then before Christmas, that's when they get me to Indiana. Like, "Yo, we need you to go out there in Indiana before like the Christmas breaks and such. All right, before the Christmas break, and work him out." So I go to Indiana and I work out Vic. Fast forward going into 2020, COVID. The NBA shuts down.
Yeah.
This was March. By the way, before all this, I'm doing my thing. I'm doing camps, clinics. I go to New Zealand. I'm out in New Zealand doing a camp clinic over there.
So you're training overseas as well?
Yeah. What I know you have it on your floor here.
Oh yeah. So I've been doing camps and clinics in Japan, Thailand, Philippines, New Zealand. I did some in Bahamas.
Hold up. Hold up. When did you start training overseas? That's a whole other level, I feel like.
Yeah. That's within like the whole, from me starting out my company in 2015. Like It was all just like building process. And
So before you touched an NBA player, you were
no,
overseas?
I was within that same time I touched NBA players, I was training overseas,
Doing
back and
doing
forth.
skills camps overseas.
Doing skills camps overseas.
How did you land those? Because as a person who, I mean, I'm guessing at that time you said you right about the time you started with the NBA players.
Yeah.
How did you end up getting the notoriety for a foreign facility to be like, yo, we want you to come
Was that
train?
through knowing somebody, or was that
I
like
knew
from,
somebody in first one I was in Thailand. I knew somebody in Thailand, and I would just send them my videos. But I was training top guys in Florida though, like high school guys.
Right.
Yeah.
And they knew them because like like Ball's Life mixtape. That's like worldwide.
Right.
So they were like, oh, like for instance, like there's a kid I was training, Damon Harge. Everybody in Thailand knew who Damon Harge was because he was like a bigger than life, Ball's Life kind of guy.
That's crazy.
He was in high school out here in OCP. Wayne was out there. Wayne would be out with the games with us. We'd sit, like we saw Kyrie. Kyrie Irving went to Damon Harge's high school game, and we saw Kyrie.
Oh snap.
And then we, since I knew Damon, Damon like would say what's up to us after the games and shit like that. So yeah, so I'd send videos of me like training Damon Harge, and then everybody knew him like, oh shoot, he trains Damon Harge. Oh, and there's another dude named Ronaldo Segu. I trained him a few times, but it wasn't very long term like I did with a little bit more with Damon. But then there's a few local guys here that were like pretty big, like D1 guys.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was training them.
So that's how they ended up being like, okay, this is
Yeah,
somebody
he's
who
good.
should come train us.
yeah, because like he's out there in the United States training some like big name like prep guys.
Right.
So that's how I got a Thailand gig. And then
And that's when you rode your first elephant.
yeah, that was crazy.
I seen you post a bit.
Yo, Thailand is crazy. So for anybody that wants to go overseas, definitely make Thailand one of your destinations.
Yeah.
That's,
Well,
that's
what
a
would
wild
you say
road over
makes
there.
it so crazy over there? Like, why
Just
Thailand?
culture, man. Like just all right. So besides the nightlife, we'll leave that later for a private conversation. But like even just the culture, like if you go out in the mountains, like you get to pet like tigers, you get to ride elephants, you get to ride elephants in the river. Like even just like out of like the outdoorsy stuff, like there's mountain views. It's crazy.
How pricey is it for the average American out here making $40,000 a year?
Well, where's this an all paid trip? Is the real question.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
yeah. For like the incentives,
Not including like those extra explorations you were doing. Like, I'm
not
guessing
including those. Those
Right,
are
yeah, yeah.
out of pocket, but like
Which makes
the,
sense.
The incentives covered.
You gotta pay
everything.
somewhere.
Yeah,
How long were you there?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Hell yeah.
2 weeks every time I'm out the
I
country.
remember
yeah.
I remember these times when you were going
So I've been to
overseas, and I was
Thailand,
so jealous. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, I went to Thailand twice, so they got me out there twice. 2016 was the first year, 2017 was the second year. But 2016, that was my first time being like international waters, like doing camps and clinics. That was crazy. So I didn't know how to operate. I'm
What
like,
was that?
that-
Go ahead.
Nah, I was just gonna say because there's obviously a language barrier.
Oh yeah.
How did that work with running a camp? Let's say with 100+ people.
Hold on.
They don't even-
Before, my bad. Hold on. Because before even that, what was it like just even being reached out to by a foreign facility to be like, oh, I'm about to go to a whole other country?
To me that was exciting. I think that being reached out by an organization outside the country is very exciting.
And
That's-
was there any part of you that felt like, damn, is this too good to be true? Like, is this,
No,
is
I
this
knew the guy.
actually going to happen?
No, I knew the guy. So like once we got the airplane tickets and all that,
It was like, oh, we're doing
yeah,
this.
we're doing it. Like,
So you
we got a
get
set
there.
date and everything. Yeah.
Now you get there and you think, I don't know how to speak to these people.
No, he told me like these guys go to international school anyways. They all know English.
Oh, okay. so-
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just those kids though, like just those participants.
Right.
But once I started exploring the city, oh my god,
That's
bro.
a whole nother level.
It's-
Well, that's good for you though, because training was what you were there for.
yeah, yeah.
You didn't have to worry about
Yeah.
that. But when you go get massages and all, that's a whole.
Oh,
other
the
thing.
massages were crazy, bro. Like no, all right. There was. It's a myth. All right. Happy endings don't exist. All right, it's a myth. All right.
You didn't go to the right spots.
Maybe that's probably right. I probably didn't go to the
yeah,
right
he goes
spot.
to the lady boy spot.
Yeah. Yo, by the way, have you been there?
Never.
Oh.
I wish. I've
So-
been to a lot of countries.
All right, so
never
we
Thailand.
went. So the director of the academy took me out.
Get me
So
worked up.
It's called Soy Cowboy. By the way, how you say street in Thai is soy. So Soy Cowboy, like
Nah,
street
it's
cowboy,
Okay, so cause I think of soy sauce, boy.
like soy. So all right, so it's called Soy Cowboy.
Mhm.
That was the same street where they filmed Hangover.
oh,
Really?
Hangover
shit.
2. right? With all them lady boys and stuff. So it's funny.
Chris, that was his favorite scene in that.
By the way, this is just
Yeah.
a personal experience. This is not affiliated with my 2Hands basketball brand. All right. So
What's 2 hands? No.
so we go to that place, whatever. It was just like left and right. So I'm laughing because I'm like, I can't believe this place exists. Like I can't really believe this place exists.
But you're also so excited to be there.
No, I was actually a little uncomfortable because I didn't belong there. I was like, but I'm like in my
Wait.
head, like, wait, I gotta get out of here. Man.
Didn't you have a doppelganger? in
Yeah,
Thailand?
that had a
Who
doppelganger.
looked exactly
exactly
like him.
like, and he's
And I
out
remember
there
him
playing.
posting.
What do you think? The ding, 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 ding. Like, I don't know what that is. Like, so he was just playing that. I'm like, yo, no way, that's my doppelganger. Like, that's definitely my doppelganger.
He took
In
a
the other
photo
side
and
of the
posted
world.
it, and it was hilarious.
I wish I would have seen that.
It's still on my personal page. Like, it's
Alright.
there. You guys just scroll through it. Like, you'll see some of my adventures there in Thailand. It's an awesome time. But yeah, Thailand is great. It's talking about views. So the director that I'm in contact with, which by the way, a real good guy. Like, I'm hoping we can get past this COVID stuff and me start doing this stuff.
Me
And-
too.
Good
but,
luck.
Yeah. Anyways, he would take me out like in the country. And
This is your first foreign trip training basketball players, right? Okay.
Yeah. So he would take me out in the country, like away from like Bangkok, because Bangkok is so hectic.
Right. Like it's like the Orlando of Thailand.
Not even like New York City.
Okay.
It's hectic.
Well, I'm
bro.
talking about Florida standards, Miami of Florida.
More like
whatever.
New York. Yeah.
But Miami, New York. Well, no, all right. Miami's busy. Like I hate Miami driving. Orlando is like, it's only sometimes it gets busy. It's
Right,
only
right.
sometimes it gets clogged. But like
So
Miami,
okay, we'll call
it's
it
every
the
day.
LA. We'll call it the
Yeah,
LA.
it's
If y'all want to be so damn specific.
but like it's just so damn busy. Like traffic. I'm talking
All
about
the
like
time.
jammed up. Like
All the
jammed
time.
up. Like you see like little scooters like maneuvering in gaps. I'm like, Jesus, like what's going on here? So it's like I couldn't live here because I hate chaos on the road. I can't do it.
That is chaos.
I cruise. I like to
There's a-
cruise. So that's why people like anybody that drives with me that probably hates it. Like, oh man, this dude drives mad slow. I'm
So
a
you don't
cruiser.
feel like that in Orlando right now? Because coming from Ocala, Orlando is like that to me.
I stay on the right side. I'm not in the fast lane. That's why everybody be cutting me off and just zoom.
As long as you don't have to slow down for real, as you're moving. You're
yeah.
good. Okay.
yeah,
for
I mean,
sure.
I think that's normal. Even in the Philippines, they're kind of like that too.
Yeah,
I
for
feel
sure.
that.
But
What other place have you been? You said you went to Japan, right?
I went to Japan was fun. That's legit.
That's where I want to go.
As far as cultural stuff, that's good. Like
So
Thailand was cool,
So
but like,
which countries total have you been to? Thailand, Japan.
New Zealand,
Okay. damn, New
Philippines.
New Zealand.
New Zealand's
is
fire. New
bro.
Zealand's
That's
fire.
Lord of the Rings territory.
Yeah, New Zealand was fire.
So that's 4. Anywhere else?
Bahamas.
Okay.
I did one there.
5.
Was I missing it?
5 countries.
I had a China gig that didn't fall through.
Oh,
That's-
damn,
yeah.
that would have been crazy.
I wanted to
Don't
go
eat
to
the
China.
street food over there. Just based on what I've seen. I don't know. I never been there, but I would.
I mean, I ate street food in Thailand, so it couldn't get any worse than that.
You think so? I don't
mean,
know.
I don't know,
Maybe-
man.
I don't know.
They're from the same cloth, man. They're cut from the
Yeah.
same cloth, so I don't know.
That's racist.
It's true.
but
So in Japan, what was some of the cool things you experienced there?
the bullet train. That
yeah.
thing goes fast, and then I almost missed it because I was sleeping. But I heard a whole bunch of yelling and commotion. I guess they were all tourists too. We saw Mount Fuji. So towards where I was going. So because when I went to Japan, it was a 9-city tour, 9 days, 9 cities. I'm hitting a city every time and doing a camera
shit.
clip.
That's
So
intense.
the director that set it up, he reached out throughout the whole country, like, "Yo, I have a U.S. basketball trainer coming. We're gonna hit 9 cities. Boom,
Did
boom,
you
boom."
know that
Damn.
before you got there?
Yeah. So I had
So
a
you
tour.
knew you were gonna get like minimal sleep, like running.
Yeah.
And
So
gunning.
I was in a different hotel every day.
How crazy was that? Because that
Nuts.
sounds. Explain what that was like on the hospitality side, because hotels and things,
It's
places where you
different
sleep
there.
is totally different.
So like, what's popular in Japan are cabins.
right?
And what I mean by
Like
cabins,
kisa manga kisas.
so like it's like let's say for instance,
I'll tell you later.
so let's say this whole room had its own cabin, and each guest would sleep.
But it
on
was
each
like
cabin.
open roof, right? Like you could hear everybody going on, or no?
No,
Okay, because that's manga kisas. That's what I'm talking about.
but like it's pretty much like for instance, I can
Like a
knock
cruise cabin, like a cruise ship cabin.
yeah, smaller,
Smaller than a cruise ship cabin.
That's pretty tight.
yeah,
That's pretty small.
smaller. And then there's like everyone would share a bathroom, but it's like mad showers and stalls.
Was that gross? Or was
Nah, it was all like Japan is so clean, like clean.
because everybody respects each other highly.
Yeah, it's so one of the cleanest countries I ever been in, and ever. Like Japan.
So
is
you
so
would have
clean.
no problem just bare ass taking a dump in Japan.
Nah, no problem at all.
That's a big deal for me, bro.
Oh, Japan. So let me tell you about Japan toilets. Japan toilets is ran by like technology.
How so?
Have you ever been to my mom's house?
I have.
Like recently?
What, the bidet or whatever?
No.
What is it called?
The bidet is
It's an
fire.
automatic.
Oh no, I haven't seen that
on
in your
the
house, in
toilet
your
or
mom's
on
house.
is a bidet.
No, like that too. I mean, it has that, but like it's all electronic. Like
Okay,
there's,
but
there's
are we
buttons-
talking about the toilet though, or is it a bidet that we're talking about?
No, like so, like you sit down, right? So you know how like, all right, and obviously we have auto flushes, right? Like public restaurants
Right.
auto flush. All right, so in Japan, it's in front of you rather than on the toilet. It's in front of you. So you sit down, whatever the case might be, and you have options like technology, what you want to do. Like you can either wash up, right, which is your bidet. You can wash up, or you can flush. Now it gives you an option. Is like it so it has a sprinkle, like oh, I'm sorry, it has a sprinkle like to see what you did, or it has like drops if it's the other, like if you took a dump. And then
It would
you just-
drop.
no, like you pick which flush selection you want to do.
Oh, okay.
One is stronger pressure, one is lower pressure.
Gotcha.
And it's
But
just
okay,
like-
but the freshen up feature is the same regardless.
Yes, but like it's all technology. Like you could like
And your
choose
parents have
options.
this
I don't know
same
how I-
technology in their house.
Yeah.
You hooked him up with that 2-hand basketball,
That's an
boy.
Asian thing, obviously.
Yeah, she
No,
that's
because
her.
we had so my first experience with a bidet was at my grandma's house
Never
in Puerto
experienced
Rico.
it.
You've never had one? Oh,
No.
they're phenomenal. But I wouldn't want to use a public bidet.
No, but it's
Cause okay,
it's renewed water anyway. It don't matter.
my first time. So when I first went to my grandma's house in Puerto Rico, I thought that one toilet was for pee and one toilet was for poop. But the toilet that I thought was for pee was the bidet. It wasn't a toilet.
No,
at
see,
all.
but like, all right, so
and that shit felt so good every
like,
time.
it
It was
w-
fresh.
but that's what I'm saying. Like it would only
Someone's sounding real suspect right now. But go ahead.
No, it was fresh. How do you not like cleaning up? It was like you didn't feel like you had to take a shower after doing your thing.
Yeah, so like Japan's crazy. Japan toilets are nuts.
Did you use the bidet?
Oh,
in
all the
Japan?
time. All the
Okay, so he knows what I'm talking about.
I've
Yeah.
never used it, so
All the
And
time.
you're missing out.
So like yeah, so Japan was just like technology wise and just culture wise. I thought that was the craziest thing I ever seen because
Yeah.
everything just so like you did like they're like in the future.
yeah.
I heard Dubai's like that too. They're like in the future, but like
Yeah.
Japan
it's very
for sure.
unique compared to our cities here. Like
Yeah,
completely different from.
and it's
from what
like
I do.
everyone's into like fashion, right?
Right.
So like everyone's wearing the latest thing. Everyone.
Like we talking about Gucci, Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, so even like high end fashion stuff, like everyone was here. So like for instance, like it was just so common. Everyone was wearing just like you ever seen those Balenciaga sock shoes?
yeah,
This was at 2018. It was 2018. Yeah, 2018.
babe.
Everybody had them. Everybody had Bape. Everybody had a long coat. It's just like nothing.
So it wasn't even like it was high fashion. It was just fashion.
It's just fashion. It was just their way of life, and then we just made it into high fashion here because we couldn't have that much access.
how
to
did
it.
how did you feel as an American growing up where we grew up? How did that feel? Was it weird? Did it feel
No,
like
no.
normal?
It was dope. Like not normal, but it was like, damn, this is dope. Like everything's just so like nonchalant to them.
Yeah.
To them, it's just their really way of life. Where in America, people try to just emulate it.
Yeah. It wasn't
for
like
them,
it wasn't
it
like
was
they were
this.
trying to keep it in a hardened case. They were just like, this is what we do, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
this is what we like. This is what we do. This is our brand.
you didn't feel like that was only the affluent people over there? You felt like it was everybody?
Nah, it was. They wore Bape like it was Old Navy.
That's wild.
Yeah, like everyone was like, even so, like they had a lot of other Japanese brands too that they were wearing, but like it was just so. It was nice. It was cool to see that, like, damn, like you guys are up to par, but like because it's their way of life. It's not because people were trying to emulate it. You know what I mean?
And 9 days was your max spent there? Or 10 days or so?
I think it was like 10, 12 days.
What was probably your most memorable moment in experience in Japan the time that you were there, or did
anytime-
you even have time to experience it like that?
I mean, my most favorite moment was after every camp, the kids would line up and request for my autograph.
Damn.
Really?
That was nuts. So I was like, damn, y'all want my autograph. Y'all want to take pictures with me, like individual pictures. They want me to sign their shirts. They're taking out their shoe, like sign it, give me their ball, sign it, like I was a somebody.
So
Like,
you felt like all the work and grinding you had done.
That must have
came to
felt real
fruition.
good from
yeah, that was definitely an intrinsic pleasure for me. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, like damn, like I
You
did
were
that.
feeling the energy from
Yeah.
that. Like they genuinely wanted that.
They showed me mad love, and I'm forever grateful for my experience there in Japan.
Personally, I mean, me knowing
Yeah.
you as long as I have, I feel like you deserve that because I
Right,
feel like you're one of the
appreciate it,
few
yeah.
people that I know that have focused on something and for sure is doing it. No doubt in your mind. The same kind of way
Yeah.
that I am as far as wanting to do something no matter what. But you actually,
right.
focused on it
I appreciate
completely.
it. Yeah, for sure. Like that's just me though. Like anybody that knows me, like when I say something, I'm gonna do it. Like so, and that's just from my raising, like how I was raised. Like yo, you say something, you know, be about your word.
Yeah.
You're only as good as your word. So
How do you feel the difference has been like, okay, growing up playing basketball, being on rec teams to high school teams to,
right.
I don't know, you probably played AAU too, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
So going from those experiences and watching players do their thing and what that was like experiencing it as a team member, do you feel like you see the same patterns happen now as a grown person coaching the teams and watching their development? Do you feel like you see the same types of kids and know how to mitigate certain situations? Does that make sense?
I'll see some of my previous scenarios or previous experience that I've gone through with the same kids, and sometimes I don't. Like sometimes, like man, like you guys are bad, like terrible, but like that's why I'm here for. Like, well, I'm here, in front of you to make sure that I'm a service for you guys and teach you guys and mentor you guys through those things. Because like there's sometimes I'd be like, okay, you guys got it, and then there's some kids I'm like, I don't remember myself being this awful. Like
Right.
at your age, like it's one of those things. So like you get a mix. You definitely get a mix of
Is it hopeful
Yeah.
in those moments?
Yeah. It's good because like once you start really putting a plan for them and they start trusting you and then
Yeah.
they start really buying in, you start really seeing them develop a little
Because that initial development is always the biggest.
bit. Yeah.
The biggest.
The biggest jump.
Yeah,
Like so
exactly.
like from nothing, like scratch to like, oh, damn, he improved. It's so big. And it's not until you're like in a high level where you're playing basketball every day and we know we can ball. It's not until that moment where little increments are only seen.
Yeah.
Got you.
What are some of the like teaching them for so long? What are some of the harder obstacles that you think is like teaching somebody to do when you're training them? Like what would be the harder things to train, you would think? Or at least from your experience.
All right. So for instance, the way I train, I use a lot of tools,
Mhm.
like accountability tools, things that are not necessarily present in the game, like cones, tennis balls, mats. So I think the biggest challenge for me is for them to get to understand that these things don't exist in the game, but it's why I'm using them and what I'm simulating out of those tools. So it's more of an accountability tool, like accountability to reinforce everything that I'm trying to get you to do. And then once I reinforce it, then we can get rid of the tools and have you do it naturally. But like, I think the biggest challenge for me to understand those things don't exist because once I take them off, they all of a sudden don't know how to do anything.
Yeah.
Because they're not visually seeing that.
Right.
Now, and you feel like that it pays off to use those tools, even given that right when you take it away, they might feel that detriment, or
Yeah.
it still pays off.
It pays off because now it's more so I got to figure out when to take away the tools. So
So that's your job.
Yeah,
as a
then
trainer.
I'll put it back on.
Gotcha.
So I'll take it back off, and then I'll figure out when they start really. All right, I'm starting to get it.
Until when you take it off, it's the same result.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
That makes sense. That's how I approach all my basketball training as well.
There's one kid though, by far I think he was the hardest player to train, but by far who's gotten me so much buzz, and like
You mean this? It's the same person we're talking about? He's the hardest and got you the most buzz?
yeah,
Okay.
is a kid named Hansel Emmanuel,
Uh-huh.
one arm phenom.
I've seen the videos with him.
That kid, like when I mean
It's
like
pretty amazing what
it's
he can do.
ridiculous what he's doing.
So when you say that it's hard to train him, it's because of the physical
right,
ability,
because
right?
now I gotta see past that. I gotta treat him like a basketball player.
Not like a person.
But
who's-
also have to address the elephant in the room with that situation. So it's like you're battling, like, all right, I don't want to treat you this way, but I got to make you aware
Yeah.
what
And what's been the hardest part for that? Because I wouldn't have any idea what that would be like.
I'm limited on accountability tools of what I can use. So for instance, I use a lot of med balls and cones that you got to hold with the other hand as you're dribbling.
And he can't do that.
You can't do that. So now I got to figure out more creative ways to simulate that same result.
How have you been able to do that? Do you feel like you've been successful?
Yeah, but we also have a communication barrier as well, where at first he only spoke Spanish.
Oh, I didn't even know he was Hispanic.
He's from the Dominican Republic. So for me, I think just the communication barrier was a.
So you had a translator there.
Yeah. So I have some of his family and friends translate for me.
Okay.
So even then, though, there's so many things you can lose in translation.
Emphasis and
right.
Yeah, I got you.
So for instance, if I told him, "Yo, I want your shoulders shaved like down," how do you translate shaved? So he's probably thinking, "Shave? What the hell are you talking about?"
Yeah. Like you want me to shave my shoulders?
Yeah. So I think just a few things were definitely getting lost in translation. And then once he started studying here more, and so he studies here in a school here. So once he was officially here in the United States and speaking more English and understanding more English, then our communication started really getting on point. And that's where we started making magic.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you feel like you made it? Do you still train him?
Yeah.
You feel
he
like
was
you
with
made
me.
it
He was with me
extreme?
yesterday. Yeah.
I couldn't imagine what that's like, bro.
How old is he?
He's 18.
Okay.
So he's a senior in high school right now.
And to him, he's not missing an arm. He just lives and plays like he don't like it's not an issue.
To him, yeah. So like that. Oh man, like it's crazy though. Like what he does with one arm is just out of this world.
And he's playing with people who are completely able.
He is doing his thing. Like, and obviously a lot of it are highlights. But like, if you ever just kind of get to watch him, you just be like, damn, like I'm impressed. Like
that he's in a full game with one arm less than everybody else.
And people are guarding him certain ways, and already a disadvantage for him, but he's still trying to make it work. It's ridiculous. Like,
and he's playing at what level? High school?
He's a high school level, and he just got an offer from Memphis.
I was just
University
gonna
of
ask that.
Damn, to play college?
Yeah.
He has 4 Division I offers right now, I think, and then Memphis is the biggest one with Penny Hardaway, and Memphis is a high major Division I.
So you feel like he might be leaning that way?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I just don't know. I mean, I do, but
that's wild, man.
I don't want to release anything.
Yeah.
No,
It's one of the things those.
Just as a coach, you think he'd be inclined?
I think that's a good look for him, especially under Penny Hardaway. I think Penny has good intentions for him.
Yeah.
So I think with that,
does he coach that?
Yeah,
team?
Penny Hardaway is the head coach.
Okay.
At Memphis. So with Penny being there and having the right intention for him, I think it could work out.
That's fire.
I think it definitely work out. Yeah.
I couldn't imagine playing any sport missing a limb.
He told me he used to play baseball.
So, but he never had an arm, or he lost it at some point?
He lost it in an accident. So
at a young age.
Yeah. So a brick wall fell on his arm, and he was stuck there for 2 hours until his dad came and took him out.
Wow. Wow. What age was that?
7. I think it was like 7. Yeah.
So he had already kind of probably dabbled in sports by then.
Yeah.
And then it had to just be a love and a passion that drove him past that.
But I think it's more so like when he lost his arm, I think his equilibrium a little bit, or his balance was like a little off.
Right, naturally, right?
Naturally, like he said, like he was like leaning one side naturally, and then so he had to learn how to like pick himself up.
And you don't feel you see because that would be like probably I would imagine a big core.
Yeah, he's like 6'7", so
that's wild.
So he was probably lengthy then as a lengthy kid. So I can understand. I could see it.
And he's pretty balanced now, obviously, to be able to be drafted. Damn, that's wild. Memphis, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. That kid is chosen. He's chosen to do some big things. I mean,
I've seen his videos.
There's haters that say like he's probably not going to play in the NBA. I mean, we'll see how that unfolds. But at the end of the day, he's already doing some big things for this world.
Yeah. Even if he didn't.
Yeah. So even if he didn't, I mean,
it's inspiring.
I'm not going to doubt
general.
him. I'm not going to doubt him. But even if he didn't, whatever he's done already has already changed my perspective of what can and can't be done.
This happened after your international camps. You getting with him?
No, this happened this past year.
Okay. So just because I forgot to ask this, when you're talking about international camps, and I know you said you had a connection in Thailand already, but I'm guessing Japan and New Zealand you didn't at that time. So how was that in terms of networking with other countries to bring your business over there?
So with Japan, I got connected with Japan with another trainer who's also like he was a mentor to me at that time as well. And so I took a lot of mentorship with guys that's been doing this in their own lane.
Through Instagram, was it, or?
No, I've met this guy before.
Okay.
He's out there in Cali. His name is Jordan Lawley. So he trains like NBA guys out there too in Cali. So I told him, because I seen him working with this organization in Japan. So I reached out to him like, yo, I'm in Japan. Can you connect me with a basketball organization that I can possibly do some dealings with in the future? And he was so cool enough and then down to earth. They're like, yo, like for sure, I got you. He connected me with this guy named Katsuya. And then Katsuya and I had been just putting deals together. And then that's how we got that 9-city tour popping.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's how that just
I
shows
feel
you gotta
like-
make those moves, man.
I feel like, yeah, I was just gonna say the networking ability that you have with basketball
Yeah.
training is taking you to this whole level, which might, like, I think is the foundation of your success.
Yeah.
Because obviously,
I'm not afraid to ask. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I'm not afraid to ask because if you could tell me no, cool.
But you also have the quality behind it. So it's like you
Right.
have the quality, which
Yeah.
you've been working on that for years.
Right.
I've been part of that journey for you building that quality.
Right.
And then you're also willing to just get uncomfortable and ask people that you have no idea who they are, anything about them.
Yeah.
And well, you know about their training and stuff, and you're willing to go out there and just ask them for an opportunity.
Yeah.
Or like you said, worst case scenario, they say no.
Yeah.
Most
And
people won't do that.
And most people will never say no. Most people would probably be like,
Well, unless you were shitty, like if you were trash,
yeah.
then they might be like,
But
"What?"
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
If you were
Right.
were a really bad trainer,
right.
they're not going to put their name on the line and refer
Right,
you to
exactly.
somebody. So that's what I'm saying. You had the quality behind it
Right.
too.
But yeah, definitely my ability to network and ask people for things that I'm interested in.
So
Yeah.
let me ask you this: given your experience with what you've already accomplished and your ability to be able to ask those questions when necessary for networking, that's obviously it takes an intrinsic gut ability to be able to tell when you have the, for lack of a better term, justification to be asking for what you're asking for, if that makes sense. So like for somebody who wants to achieve things along this line, whether basketball or not, how did you know, like, okay, it's my turn, I can ask this question and not be ashamed of anything, I can ask this question and look for help, and I have my credentials behind me, or what I've accomplished behind me? Is there anything in particular that would allow you to be like, okay, this is how I knew that I could ask this? Or you were just like, I'm just gonna ask regardless?
No, I mean I had a resume already built. Like he said though, so like I had the qualities behind me already.
So you felt good about that. You were just like, okay,
So even if they told me no, it's cool. I know maybe I just wasn't asking the right person.
got you.
So it's all about like
That was a
Yeah.
question too. Was
Yeah.
did you ever run into where you couldn't actually contact the direct person and you were talking to their team, and not like maybe somebody has a publicist or somebody who communicates with other team, like you weren't actually talking to the direct trainer? Were you in that situation at all? Or?
Yeah, I was. I actually wanted to do like a Kemba Walker camp, right? Like for kids, and then Kemba would be like our main guy that I'd use as a demonstration.
Right.
But I reached out to Kemba through I think it was through his social media, because we follow each other. So oh yeah, we follow each other. So I reached out like, hey, I want to do this camp, but do I have to reach out to your PR or anything? He never really gave me an answer. So I knew it was like, all right, in order to make that happen, I got to reach out to whoever's handling him. Because sometimes they don't make their own decisions. I mean, they do, but they don't. If
Right.
that makes sense. Like sometimes it's like, yo, I got a team for that.
Right.
If they feel like it's a good move for me, cool. I'll just sign off on it,
But if not, then hey, you can't
yeah,
get
so I
part.
never really got connected with this PR that makes the decisions of doing stuff of that
You
caliber.
never got that far. So how did you? So if you weren't that far in that line, how did you end up getting them for actual training sessions? Kemba?
Through Edgar. Edgar was his best friend. Edgar Sosa.
okay.
Yeah.
That's how you got into it.
Yeah, so
Gotcha.
yeah.
It sounds like every one of your opportunities was specifically networking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
connected. Yeah. It was all connection. Yeah.
Hey, that's what makes the world work, man.
Yeah, that's why you got to be able to connect to people. Like it is what it is. We live like if you think about our nature itself, we're meant to connect with other people.
Yeah.
Were
Yeah.
there cultural obstacles when you went to these other countries? Were there things that you weren't maybe aware of completely, or felt like you weren't fully well versed in terms of how to do business in these foreign countries, or did you just treat it like any other business meeting?
I think I have really good business qualities anyway, so I treat it just like any business opportunity. Firm, transparent.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure everything that's agreed upon is on some type of agreement on paper,
Written
and then
down,
we
yeah.
just go by that, and it's been working ever since. So.
Hell yeah.
I feel like Kissimmee was blessed to have you here. I feel like you've developed so many players from here, and
Yeah,
everybody pretty much outside of Kissimmee too
yeah,
know who you are now, and you've pretty much mostly trained a lot of the people who are going to make it to the next
Right.
level.
yeah.
And
I appreciate that, but definitely, that was never like a big goal for me. Like, oh, I gotta produce the next generation. I just
Yeah,
wanted
yeah.
to help any player that I came across.
Yeah.
It just so happened that a lot of these players that I came across were high potential guys, and all I
Mhm.
did was really just unlock their potential. So, um,
and using your experiences and your network to try
Right.
and connect them to
right,
the next
I've
level.
done that
What
for a
we
lot of
were
people,
inspiring at that time, which was
Exactly.
getting to that next
See,
level.
like all I tried to be was somebody that I didn't have.
Yeah.
What we didn't have.
Exactly.
That's all I try to be. Somebody that we never had, which is somebody that could help us and put us in a path that we can attain.
And speaking of when we were younger, they have so many more opportunities and tools to get to that next level now
Yeah.
that we didn't really have
Right.
because of, let's say, social media. YouTube
YouTube.
Right.
wasn't
It's-
really
yeah,
like what it was.
It's a lot easier to play now at the next level than it was back then for
Yeah.
us, just because of the access of resource. Now I think like everyone. Now don't get me wrong, it's still hard to play at
yeah.
the next level.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that now it's more accessible. Now you could actually be in front of that.
Yeah.
Whatever organization you're trying to play for. You
If
could actually have a
you're
chance
willing
to,
to
play in front
put
of.
yourself in front.
Yeah, if you want to, there's ways you could put yourself in front of that.
Right.
Then it was very hard to put yourself in front of an organization that you were wanting to play
The
for.
only thing
Yeah.
I will say, not coming from a basketball perspective at all, but just from a marketing perspective, would be, even though it is so much more accessible, that then takes it into a whole new category of challenge, because now it's, how can your content be more appealing to be the one that I'm paying attention to?
Well, that's just I feel like, but that comes with you being a high quality basketball player.
Right, but I'm not talking about
So-
just in terms of the skill being displayed, but how well it is displayed. Because if you have two equal ability players, and one has the means to hire a videographer to highlight certain reels and things that are more visually appealing, just like any other marketing scheme would, then it's going to naturally draw more attention. So then I feel like that might add a whole nother level of challenge, where now it goes beyond just being a good basketball player or any athlete, but now how well can you market those skills in terms of visual appeal?
I would agree to a certain extent, because I feel like everyone knows there's a difference between a highlight reel and the way that you're playing. And if you're a good scout, you're not going to just go off the highlight reel.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But it helps.
But, I mean, it helps for
helps.
exposure. I would say
Yeah.
that for sure.
Like playing like
And because you're
Yeah.
talking about public, like, it may not be just the coaches. It may just be how many eyes do you have on you? Because now, if you have so many eyes on you, just on your own personal stuff, and I'm a college team or any kind of extracurricular team, and now I can get you on, you already have all these eyes on you. So now it's more than just your basic fundamental sport
Right.
ability.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when it comes to playing, I think it's still a bit on the amateur side, where I wouldn't treat it such as a business yet. Because I feel like at a state, it only becomes more important to really market yourself when you come to a stage where, all right, it's necessary. I feel like in a elementary, middle school, it's not as necessary as you might think. High school, when no one's knocking at your door, that's when you have to get creative on your marketing.
Right.
Like, how do I get myself seen? But the thing is, that's a different type of marketing, environment anyway. It's not like business. It's
Right,
not
right,
like
right.
me trying to market my services. That's easy for me. Like,
to a
yeah.
group. Yeah, I got you.
it's that. I think that's different.
Consumer group.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I mean, I feel like because we grew up in that era where we didn't have as many resources, though, people can come to you to kind of have
Right.
some guidance to get into that.
Right.
Because, like I said, honestly, I remember when I graduated high school, after my last game in high school, I was just like stunned. I was just like, what do I do? I have no offers, no
right,
nothing.
exactly.
I had no idea, and I had to go on the internet for hours and hours just learning things, just like how does this even work? I had nobody
Right.
actually guide me through the process to understand anything.
You mean in terms of not having
Of making it to the next level.
Because for you, graduating high school, you had dedicated so much time to basketball. You were thinking, for sure, I was getting an offer. For sure,
Yeah.
I was going
I
somewhere.
didn't understand the process of actually getting to the next level and the marketing and the business aspect
So
of it.
what was the first thing you got into at that point? What did you think?
I mean, what do you mean?
Like when you looked at that, like, damn, I don't have any offers. I got to start learning to figure out.
I just started. I mean, it didn't really work out for me because I ended up not playing. But I just started emailing coaches, assistant coaches of all these schools that I might have been interested.
Did you get responses though?
I mean, I had responses to tryouts, but the thing is with tryouts,
You didn't.
if
go.
they didn't look at your actual gameplay with tryouts, it's kind of just if you ain't 6'7" and up,
Yeah,
you're not getting.
Yeah, you get overlooked a lot in
Yeah.
those tryouts.
just because they haven't actually seen you play.
and you only have
Right.
1 or 2 days, and that's
you have,
it.
yeah,
But you didn't try
Of course, I tried,
Oh,
but
okay.
everyone ball
You-
hogs.
yeah,
Everyone does that.
it's hard to get
It's
a
very
really
hard.
because they're trying to be like super shining stars.
Yeah,
enough.
it's hard to get a good first impression
Mhm.
on those environments.
Especially my first impression, anyways. They think I'm a football player.
Yeah. No, I would now for sure. I would think O-line maybe.
Yeah,
Hell
so
yeah.
like when I train players, see, I don't necessarily have a direct connect to recruitment, but I have enough resources that I could connect my players to.
Gotcha.
So like it's not like me myself like I could call a coach up. No, it's more so I can connect them with a group of people that knows coaches,
Mhm.
and then because of my my relationship with these guys, they'll look out for me like, all right, cool. I need their game film, I need their name, I need their GPA, whatever the case might be, and they'll make a case for them for me
Yeah.
because of my good relationships with these guys.
So how do you feel? Do you feel like this has affected you or this whole process? We were talking more on your professional side. How or in what ways would you feel that this has affected you on a personal development side, like outside of the basketball game completely, based on how you viewed yourself before you started on this path, let's say 12 years ago or 14 years ago, to where you are now? How do you think it's changed your personal view on how you want to live your life and move forward?
It's definitely changed as far as what I want now. A lot of things I wanted then, I don't want now.
Like what? Like a
A lot of-
Ferrari?
Yeah, like materialistic things, like things
Yeah.
that are just so hard to maintain, things that's just it's not necessary.
Ferrari's in there.
Not a Ferrari, but like like an Aston Martin or something.
He just want to get
Yeah.
his taste out there. All right.
It's like an Aston Martin. Like, it's funny because I was like, when I was 17, like, yo, when I'm like 22, 23, I'm going to buy me up the Aston Martin Rapid, a 4-door Aston Martin. Dude, that's a $200,000 car.
Yeah.
Like, what
So what would that do for you?
like, what would it do
Just
for
cost money.
Exactly.
That's
It'll cost me money, and it's just feeding like my ego, which
it.
Yeah.
For sure.
I don't have one anyway. So like, it's
Oh,
whatever.
you have one.
I mean, I
We
do.
all have.
We have one to an extent. Like I
Yeah.
can, to me, like I can live every day, just wear some ballers in the shirt and just go along my day, and I'd be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Like, so I mean, some of the things like those materialistic like perspectives like started, fading away the more I started really understanding what my purpose was a little bit more.
For sure.
Don't you have 1,000 shoes? I'm
That's
just
a
kidding.
muse. No, all right, okay. So that's my muse. I love shoes, but I've always been
So
like that
that's
since I was
your,
a kid.
so
yeah,
that's
yeah.
your materialistic thing.
But that's
No,
yeah.
I
I'd
mean,
always-
I'm not. I'm just.
Yeah,
I'm
that-
just talking
but
crap.
but that,
funny.
if you had to have one thing, it would be shoes, like materialistic. one.
Yeah, but that to me, that's like it's like my art, like my art pieces.
So
like,
for those
if I was to buy
sneaker-
art, I'm buying.
So for
shoes, like,
sneakerheads watching, what type of shoe guy are you? Like, what's your niche?
I'm not into Yeezys. So
At all?
At all.
You have zero
I have
Yeezys.
zero Adidas. The last Yeezys I had were the Nike Yeezys. Yes.
Okay,
I'm one of
okay.
those OGs.
So you're
like,
a
I'm real
Nike.
deal.
So
Like
you prefer Nike?
I'm a Nike guy.
Are you a Jordan guy?
Yeah, I'm like you gotta have some Jordans,
But
I'm
more
a
Nike.
No, I have more Jordans, but I'm a Jordan guy, but I gotta have me a few certain pairs of Nikes.
Gotcha. So of all brands, Jordan's your niche.
Yeah,
I'm
Jordans.
I'm a sandals guy now.
So like
That's because the wide fits don't fit him anymore.
like I wear a lot of like retro J's for sure, but I'm not necessarily with the absurd colorways. I got to keep the classics like bread 4s, cement 3s,
For sure.
some 1s, 10s, 11s, 6s.
I'm not a super sneakerhead, but I can't do the ones, bro.
Well,
I'm
see,
like a 4 through 8 kind of guy.
But see, the thing is, I was rocking ones before people were rocking ones. I was rocking ones in high school, and that's in 2007, 2006.
Okay, yeah, I can feel that. But I'll adjust 3 through 8. 3 through 8 would be my favorite.
Matter of fact, I was
ones.
UNC ones. I was rocking UNC patent leather ones. The mids, people hate mids nowadays, but mids, patent leathers, the black and gold, white university blue, and the white, black, and red ones, the Chi-Town ones, Chicago ones. Those were popping when we were in middle school, like 2004, 2005-ish.
I remember he had the UNC ones, and he would rock the North Carolina Jordan jersey.
Oh, yeah.
4XL. And his body's skinny. Not as skinny as you.
Okay, relax. That's funny. No, I've never been like super sneakerhead. I've always liked Jordans, especially back in middle school days.
Yeah.
But I was just telling him, they said that the Citrus 7s are coming out this year.
Yeah.
And those are the ones
That's
that I
a must.
have to have again.
That's a must. Well, Citrus 7s were like just an alternate color of like the Raptors.
Yeah.
So like
I beat those down.
Yeah, they
back
took
in the
away
day.
like the purple and just switched it with the orange, that citrus orange.
Yeah.
But
I used to work at Cold Stone, and I at the end of the lifetime of my Citrus 7s at the time, them shits had ice cream of all flavors all over them shits. Shout out Cold Stone. Yeah, I love that.
he had strawberry 7s at that point.
All over.
Do you is it funny when you're seeing coaching younger kids, the high schoolers, talking about all their sneakers
Yeah, it's
and all
hilarious
that?
because I'm like, man, y'all just into the hype. Y'all don't really know your history, y'all sneakers. Y'all just into the hype because one, it probably costs a lot of money, and the hottest person's wearing it.
That's true,
what's-
but there's a whole subgroup of people who
Yeah.
consider themselves proudly hype beasts.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
which
like
is
I have no
even,
problem.
Even like then, like they had certain groups like that, like with the hype beasts and stuff. But then when we were rocking sneakers, then we knew the culture, we knew the history of it, and why we wore it because we knew those things.
Yeah. But then you had the subgroup of hype
Yeah,
beasts.
and then you rock it with a nice outfit. But then you had your hype beast that just got it because, like, let's say for instance, a dude that never played basketball rocking J's in 2006, you'd be like, bro, you don't even like the sport, but you're rocking J's. But
that was me. But yeah.
like you don't even know the significance of infrared sixes. Like, what's the significance of infrared or bread fours? What's the significance of bread fours? Craig Elo. Craig Elo got Jade on a buzzer beater. That's why Michael Jordan jumping up in the air. Those were bread fours he was wearing. So the culture and the history are something that I know. Is why I like to collect a lot of sneakers. That's why I collect a lot of J's.
And I only know because I hung around him.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Because I did not care at all.
Yeah, but like he there was a phase that we like hanged out every day.
Yeah.
For like multiple years. Like
It's crazy that I
played
never
Yu-Gi-Oh.
knew
We
y'all
played
were
Yu-Gi-Oh.
that tight growing up. Like I thought y'all only met each other in high school.
No, I actually hated him. I was just I'm just kidding.
Cause I got into I only liked J's because I knew it was Michael Jordan. He had played. I was a baseball player.
Yeah.
So he got into baseball a little bit, and I thought they were cool ass shoes, and everybody else thought so too. So I liked them.
Yeah, so I'm into a lot of J's. Like I have a lot of Nikes, some Nikes too that I gotta have some Kobe's because I'm a Kobe fan.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. to the GOAT. Not the GOAT, one of the GOATs. I mean, some
Wait,
people.
so
that,
who's
some
the other
peop-
GOAT?
Some people that could be their GOAT, just depending on.
Are you talking LeBron right now? Am I getting
No.
LeBron vibes?
I don't have that lens to have. I can see. Like, here's the thing: when it comes to the GOAT talk, all right. If we're gonna discuss GOAT talk, all right, you gotta see it from different lenses. Depends on what lens you're looking at for it. From a statistic dominance lens, LeBron's GOAT. From an eye test of just like, damn, like he's just killing everybody at any chance he gets with the accolades to back it up and stats to back it up too as well, you got to go with MJ. Or if you didn't see MJ play or whatever the case might be and you saw Kobe play, I could understand why some people would have.
If you
Kobe.
didn't see MJ play,
If you didn't see,
so really, he's
so that lens,
third.
yes, well,
He's third on the list.
yeah. 'Cause if you didn't see MJ play, so some people have Kobe better than LeBron for
because they didn't watch MJ.
yeah. So now since you have a mimic of MJ, just not as much accolades as LeBron, as far as
Stats-wise,
stats,
right.
awards and such.
So
like that.
stats, you put LeBron over MJ.
100%. Yeah.
Okay.
Statistically, LeBron's gonna shit.
So for
on
you,
everyone.
it's LeBron, MJ, Kobe, personally.
No, it's MJ, LeBron, Kobe.
Okay.
Because I don't look at it from a statistic lens.
You're looking overall.
I can see why people have LeBron as the GOAT because I'm looking through a statistic lens. If I'm just looking, but I don't use the stats lens
Only.
only.
Right. Okay.
All right, so it's all about perspective.
I feel like Chris
what about-
disagrees
what
with
about-
you. He's looking like he disagrees.
I'm the last person to ask about this. 'cause
So you don't have an
I'm the only
opinion?
basketball player that doesn't watch basketball.
so you
yeah,
don't-
like
but that
that's
doesn't mean
always
you-
been him though. Like he doesn't pay attention. Like so, it's funny because when we would play high school, like yo, we're playing DP. Chris Warren's there. He's he's the Division I stud. Like so, Chris Warren was a tough guard. He played at Ole Miss, and we're all hyping him up. He's like, yeah, who's Chris Warren? like,
So
I-
you have no opinion at all.
I just didn't care.
But do
like
you have
honestly,
a current
or for
opinion?
instance, like yo,
most
so
of the time I was
this
looking
was
at
his
other
year.
stuff.
This was his year. So Shane Larkin ended up playing in the NBA, but Shane Larkin was like dummy good back in high school, like on his year.
Yeah.
So like I'm out there like schooling his whole team like on who Shane Larkin is. Like, yo, this kid is a real deal. Y'all gotta watch it. He's like, yeah, alright. Yo, and then Shane
I
Larkin,
can imagine him.
yo,
Like, yeah, he ain't balling on me.
yo, and then Shane Larkin destroys them, like completely destroys them. I'm talking about like, yo, he was having a field day, and I
Yeah.
tried to tell him like, yo, I tried to tell him not necessarily how to stop him, but I tried to tell him like, yo, he
Watch
likes to
out.
play. He likes to play off the pick and roll. Don't go under the
Well,
screen.
I wasn't guarding him.
And if
Yeah,
you
who-
were,
I
it
don't- I
wouldn't
don't-
have made a difference.
I
It
don't
was
even know.
Lulu.
Yeah, I don't even know who was guarding him.
Damn, Lulu.
It
Shout
was
out
Lulu.
Lulu.
It's because
shout
the
out.
thing is, the Dr. Phillips played great offense, and they knew how to set screens properly.
Yeah.
And you have to be a
Right,
great
so-
defender to be able
So
to
for
play
instance, so like back in our day, like we never ran any pick and rolls, which is like I don't know why. I'm thinking about it now, like I don't know why we never ran pick and rolls because pick and rolls are some of the hardest things to cover.
that. Yeah, but most people don't set pick and rolls
True that.
right.
But like DP, yo, Shane had a field day running pick and rolls. He had somebody set a screen
Yeah.
for him, so if somebody went under the screen,
All I remember
Shot.
from the game
Yeah.
was every time I looked over, he's wide open, and I'm just like, what is going on?
yeah. So
But-
like, yeah, Shane destroyed ya. But like he wouldn't know. He was like, yeah, alright. Like he just had no clue. 'cause
I
he never
pretty
paid
much would
attention.
figure it out. Like I'd hear from it, and then I'd figure it out on the court. Like, okay,
Okay.
I
Yeah.
feel like I can tell he's good.
So with your repertoire of not having any pop culture, you don't have a list of top 2 or 3 at all. Because all I know about LeBron is he reads fake books.
Upside down.
Upside down.
And he's always on-
he's
he's
always
always on
one
page
page,
one. He's
always
one
on
page
page one,
deep. That's all I
Yeah,
know.
no, I mean,
and he makes cool shoes. Some of them are cool. I like them.
I
Yeah,
mean,
he
the
makes
only
eyes
the only
too.
person I can say that I like is Kobe, but I mean,
So he would be your number 1 player.
I can't really say that because I'm not qualified to say something.
No.
like that.
You're
Personally,
qualified for
from
your
who I have
personal.
seen, I would actually rather, yeah, Kobe.
You were gonna say Steph Curry
kind of because
because he's a shooter
Yeah,
and
man,
you.
no,
I would say Steph Curry. And
But
he's
I-
more.
but-
Ray
yeah.
Allen.
Nah, I
No.
like Steph Curry better.
Because I remember I used to borrow your brother's Ray Allen jersey all the time back in middle school.
But here's the thing, though. Like, I can understand why. See, I can also understand a Steph Curry top 5. Like, people don't have Steph Curry top 5, but I can understand it.
Like
can
that
understand.
you don't have
I'm not
them?
mad at it.
But do you have them?
Do I?
It's
I
fun
think
for
so,
me because I have no
all right,
idea.
So I think so. So my top 5 is Kobe, LeBron, Kareem, Shaq. See, that's where it gets hard because, like, do you leave KD out? Do you leave Kevin Durant out? Do you keep Steph? Like, what do we do there? Like, it's so hard. That's a.
I mean, it's just an
That's what I'm saying.
opinion.
Like,
It's just
perspective.
opinion.
Perspective plays. What lens
Yeah.
are you looking at?
All right, and look, I'm gonna give
So-
y'all my top 5. You ready?
Uh huh.
Not in any particular order. All right. Allen Iverson, Carmelo Anthony.
That's already horrible.
Alright.
Yeah. Oh my God. This is a horrible top 5. This is horrendous.
All right, let's just
This
leave
is
that too.
this is blasphemous,
know.
right? All right, yo.
Hold on,
basketball fans, do
Who else?
not
Kobe. Kobe.
discontinue
I'm gonna
from
throw
here on out.
Kobe in there. I'm gonna throw Kobe for some redemption. Kobe.
Yeah, just a safe bet.
No.
Yeah, just
I
throw
was
Kobe.
definitely gonna just throw Kobe. I said in no particular order because I'm just thinking NBA Live days.
See that too. Like, see, I don't know if I have Kobe top 5.
Not
I
at
don't-
all top 5.
No. I can argue it, but I don't know if I do.
I would.
don't
J.R.
know.
Smith.
Oh God, Lord.
Shut-
J.R.
shut-
Smith.
Smith.
Yo, all right, you're bugging.
Yo, I'm literally just going off the team that I played off of 2009 NBA Live. That's the only
Abs-
way.
Cut it. We're done.
I have no idea what these guys play like for real. Oh, that's
man.
hilarious.
No, but I feel like
Take me on 2K. What's up? Who wants it?
like I would love the reason why I didn't know so much about basketball, I just loved playing it and training it. But when I got home, I was just into I never
he
was appealed to watch the game. I wanted to see it in person, or I wanted to play.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to focus on training and getting better at it. Where at home, I was more into other stuff like conspiracies and anime.
More anime.
And that's all I would do all day.
Yeah.
Rather than knowing about basketball.
Number
or
4,
stuff like that.
LeBron.
Nah, it's too late, man. You already ruined it with
Number
J.R. Smith. You got J.R. Smith in the top 5. It's too late,
No,
man.
I really don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah,
So
throw it in the trash, man. Throw it in the trash.
Go for it. That's what I got you around for, man. You lead me down the path. Nah, but did you watch anime growing up too a lot or no?
A little bit. I mean, more than anything, Dragon Ball Z.
That was the
Yeah.
most?
The most.
Okay. So you wouldn't have a top 3 anime or manga?
I don't.
Okay.
Oh, but it's a problem when I buy a dragon shirt when I'm in first grade, but you like Dragon Ball Z.
But
One of the main memories I have of the Buhain house is World Star Hip Hop.
what?
Back in high school days.
World Star Hip Hop?
Yeah.
For what?
I don't know. I remember
Which
it
he's
was like
always on, by the way.
no.
There's no way we were
that
on World
was
Star.
y'all were my main introduction to World Star Hip Hop.
Oh, like we showed
like
y'all
being
World Star
on
Hip
it.
Hop. Oh.
Yeah.
I thought like,
it
yo,
was
we were
like-
never in World
He
Star.
sends
like,
me a video from War Star Hip Hop once a week. Still.
But
Still. I'm like, I didn't even know this is still existing.
that's my current events right there.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
I remember going over to y'all crib one day. I think it was with them or something. And you and your brother, like I remember just the stacks of shoe boxes and World Star Hip Hop, and we were
Yeah.
just going through videos.
Yeah,
That was
it
like
sounds
my
about right.
number one memory.
Sounds about right. But the thing is, World Star for hip hop, not for nothing. They do show you the crazy, absurd stuff,
Yeah.
but they do have some pretty like interesting like current events.
They do. Yeah, they do. Like if anything's happening in current events that's wilding that
Now.
you should know about, it'll be on.
It'll be
there.
100%.
Now.
And you can see it like in the,
100%.
if you check
Wasn't it?
like even if you don't watch all the videos, but if you check it every day, you'll be up to date with the most wild and shit anybody could talk about. And I know that because
Yeah.
I'm a barber, and World Star Hip Hop keeps
Yeah.
me in the loop in the barber shop.
Right.
I bet. You send me a
Yeah.
video every week. At least
So
one.
I keep you in the loop. You're welcome. Current events, baby. Shout out World
Yeah,
Star.
World
We
Star.
we could use a sponsorship.
That'd be fire. Y'all
Wouldn't
got a
it?
World Star hip hop?
World Star Hip. You know, you
Sponsorship?
saw Alvin
I
Codner.
don't think it would fit with our
Alvin
vibe.
Codner popped up on World Star. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
Where he was like a third husband to some chick.
Whoa.
I don't know if it was accurate, but that's what the title said. He
Oh,
was in
nah,
the background. Some chick was like, "I got 3 husbands," and it was AC in the back, like doing his dance and shit.
Oh, what the heck? Nah,
I'm gonna have to keep y'all up to that.
Speak. Back to when we were let's talk back from the old days. Obviously, talking about World Star Hip Hop. Some of the things that influenced you as a basketball player. What is it that influenced you? Like, was it the N1 mixtapes?
Oh,
I
was
remember.
it?
heavy on the N1 mixtapes. As a matter of fact, yo, it's so funny. My friends in my neighborhood, this was like around, I think I was in the 4th grade. We made our own N1 mixtape and it was horrible. Like, yo, it was so horrible. We like lowered down the hoop to like 7 foot. We're out here dunking on 7 foot. We're out here like, bouncing the ball, putting our shirt over it, and then hitting it and then coming out.
Yeah,
It was like, it was horrible.
I wonder if I could
Dude,
dunk on 7
I'm
foot
curious.
right now.
Do you think any of the kids that you train now know who N1 was?
Probably not. But
At all?
nah, probably not. But maybe they know like the professor or something like that. Because professor's still kind of active.
Yeah.
But because of the level of play now, like your random high school kid, that's who they look up to because they're good. Like,
Random high school kid. That's how high in comparison that they're playing now versus when y'all were in high
skillfully. I mean that in a skillful
Skillful.
perspective.
That's what I'm saying.
Because like
they-
there's just so much more flash, but also there's just so much more access to like media.
and they're able to accomplish those.
they're
moves
able
and
to
shit.
get it documented.
So would you say that
So-
when N1 was coming out, that was the first time we started seeing flashy moves in
Yeah,
the basketball
like
game? Would you say
crafty,
that?
yeah.
Would you say that was that the N1 period changed the whole game? Because I feel like that's when people started working on their ball handling on
Yeah.
another level
Yeah.
because they wanted to be just like them.
But yeah, absolutely. I think N1 influenced that skills perspective of ball handling. Everybody wanted to have. Hold on.
Bless you. It's allergy season.
Yeah,
We forgive you.
March, Florida, March, terrible day. Don't, as a matter of fact, this
If
is
you
for,
were to eat fruits, it wouldn't happen.
first of all, what's your
When's the last time
what's your
you had
travel
a
company
fruit?
called? Oh, yo,
Yesterday,
what's your travel
Actually,
company?
today.
What's it called?
True Florida
True
experience.
Florida
True
experience.
Florida Experience. Don't come from March through May because it's
No,
allergy season.
12 years,
All right.
12 months around, all year round.
There's no allergy seasons for all fruit type of people. It's just pure life, pure energy.
What's the last
Yeah,
fruit
that-
you had, man?
Probably a banana a few days ago.
A
First of
few
all, okay,
days ago.
Okay, first of all, remember when I first put you on the fruits?
Yeah.
Did you ever go all fruits?
No.
Did you take the herbs though?
I didn't
Like,
take the herbs. The herbs was cool. I think the herbs were cool.
But I remember you specifically saying that it made you feel better.
Yeah, the herbs made me feel pretty cool. It made me like energized for sure.
Cool meaning better.
Yeah. Like I felt definitely some direct effects as far as like I felt good. I wasn't like sluggish.
Yeah.
Like, cause like a lot of times when I wouldn't eat anything, I'd feel sluggish. But when I was taking those herbs, I felt good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes you feel like you don't need to
I
eat,
still
for sure.
think you should try to go all fruits.
7 days at least.
Damn, that's tough.
It is. Try
My
3 days
household, bro. I got a Spanish household.
It is.
Yeah,
tough.
you got to fight that Goya on sazon, bro. You got to fight adobo, all that shit.
I should experiment with it a little bit, dabble with it. But that's so much willpower, bro.
We could document it, and then we
You
can
had
have
the
a whole-
willpower to create this.
So listen,
This facility.
All right, okay, yeah, you're
All
right.
right, you have enough willpower to do
hey,
it.
that's
you
a
know
good
what?
point. We
True.
could have you document it and then revisit on the podcast and then talk about what that experience was like for you.
First of all, it's a scam, guys. All right? I ate all fruits for 7 days and it only made me go to the bathroom. All right.
That's a good.
That's
thing.
a fantastic thing.
But I like the herbs. The herbs was cool. But like even like stuff like that, like that require like disciplines. It's been challenging for me to get into. Just because I had so much going on in my life right now, I feel like just taking more disciplinary stuff is just like it's tough.
Because I feel you on that. Because for me personally,
Yeah.
and doing what I do professionally and trying to level up in all these different ways, it's like you put all this energy and focus into leveling up on the professional side that it feels like all the other categories take a back seat, and you're like, I can't keep all these at
Right.
level 100 while I'm trying to focus 100 on this.
For instance, like if I wanted to eat cleaner and discipline myself to eat cleaner, right? It's so hard to do that with what I do now because
Right.
I'm always on the go.
Right.
So to really prep it, not that I'm lazy, I just like
No, but that's part of it.
yeah,
a big
I
part.
just I'm like, man, I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
I'm out.
yeah. I feel you. Me too. But at the end of the
Or
day,
like
that's,
pack if I wanted to pack fruits, I'm like, man, I'm not packing fruits. I'm out. Like, all right, see what I'm saying?
hit Wendy's on the way. Give me some Baconator.
So like, yeah. So like for me, like that'll just take some more disciplining and planning. I mean, it's possible. Nothing's impossible, like, especially like that.
I'm possible.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, pretty much.
Bringing it full circle, boy. So go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say. So based on that, you wouldn't say that. You wouldn't say you've been putting 100% of your effort into your diet and health and all
Oh,
that.
absolutely not.
So, and you said you had a lot of stuff going on. So for you right now, what is your main next goal with what you've got going on? Would that be opening that second facility? Is that where all your energy is
I
going?
want to definitely open up that second facility. Hopefully, what are we? 22.
22, and we're
22.
March of 22.
Hopefully,
12 months in a year.
hopefully, beginning of 23, we're like
Really, that
Right.
soon?
As in opening up,
no, like just
like
start like
securing location,
securing the location, and then just what do you call it?
building from there. Yeah. just
Yeah,
Are you
yeah,
are you
there.
currently looking for more more staff, like more coaches? Is that hard to find people that you feel like are qualified?
It's hard in the sense of trust.
of whether they're gonna do what you want them to do when you're not there.
Right.
Is
That-
Chris qualified?
But also how I want things done, and like
He just completely ignored it.
he was when
he
he was working.
was.
He was because like I just don't know how verbal he'll be with kids now.
Well,
But when he was
I'd be more
helping out-
concerned about the physicality.
And training, training, you don't need physical traits. Like demonstrating traits is
Okay.
it's just an icing on the cake.
Good,
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Teaching it is a whole different quality. So when it comes to for me to wanting to look for staff and trainers is more so like, can they provide the teaching qualities?
Are
that
you
I'm looking
always
for?
looking for that? Are you always?
No, I'm not always looking for it, but when I come across it,
You know.
I'd like to give them an opportunity. Like, yo, come intern for me if you're interested in being in this environment,
Mhm.
and then it'll lead into like a job with me.
Gotcha.
So like, I
Okay.
won't offer the job. I'll first offer an interest.
For sure. Like to
Yeah.
see if this is what you want to be
Yeah,
doing.
because like when I started, it was an interest. It was just like It was what I did.
Right.
I wasn't monetizing off of it like I'm monetizing off it now. So you got to go through my processes,
Yeah.
like before I just give you something.
Right. You have
Yeah.
to show that you have skin in the game before you're offered any kind of opportunity for monetary
So
gain.
you got to earn to be here. Like, and then obviously, I mean, in a business aspect, obviously, like big businesses will just hire you off resume and stuff. But like some of the great trainers will probably have no resume
Because
it's how
they're
you
worried.
hone them,
Yeah.
like how you create, like how you mold them.
Now, do you guys think that you're
Like
in the
I don't have a
market-
great resume. I don't have a great resume. I never played at the highest level, but because I have great teaching qualities and I just learned it through the way.
and you have the experience. I
have
think
the
the
experience.
experience is the key point.
Right. But like me starting as a trainer, like
Yeah. Because there's some things that
yeah.
it's very hard to teach, even though he's played at a high level basketball, which is why he's able to teach that.
Yeah.
But there's some things, there's a difference between someone who could, you can tell the difference between someone who's experienced it and teaching it off of experience than somebody who's just teaching it because they learned it.
Right. Yeah, because
And
you can tell when someone just memorized something.
I'm
Yeah.
both. I'm both.
Yeah,
because I've
exactly.
never played in Division I basketball. I've never played NBA, but I can probably demonstrate and teach that better than anybody that's ever played in the NBA, if that makes sense.
because
Because I'm so detail oriented. Like for instance, somebody in the NBA is trying to break down their moves that they're doing. I could probably break it down better than they do.
you're observing.
I'm observing. I'm a perfectionist when it comes to details like that. They're just going off feel.
Right.
This is how I felt when I did it. This is how
That's
it looked to
relatable.
me.
That's relatable to golf because
Right.
I got to bring it to golf. But I say that because golf is, when it comes to your swings and your technicality, so much of it when you explaining it to someone else is based on your feel, not based on what you're actually doing.
Right. So like
So, yeah.
a guy in the NBA would probably go off feel versus like that's not what it looks
Yeah.
like in a technical and mechanical aspect.
Right.
So I break things down at that realm, at
And-
a technical and mechanical aspect.
But
and then
I would
you'll
also
feel it.
say that you still have experience playing at the higher
Yeah,
level.
yeah. So I played
But that's-
varsity basketball.
That's why it's still
like,
an experience. Even though he didn't play in the NBA, he played around D1 players. He
yeah,
played around,
I played around high level guys.
So
yeah.
it's like with that experience, you understand it.
Yeah.
On
Because
that.
because you've touched it. You may have not done it yourself, but you've touched that.
Yeah, that realm. Yeah.
That realm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Now, would Two Hands Basketball be in the market for, let's say, like a professional barber, or is that something?
What are you talking about?
No, I'm just talking shit, man. But if y'all need anybody for any big shows, man, you let me know. I'll hook y'all up.
I would
Yeah,
definitely
for sure.
say I'm glad that you're teaching the next generation around here,
Yeah.
and I'm proud to know you.
I appreciate that, bro. Likewise, man. You already know nothing's changed. It's just, I just come with a bit more of a status lately.
So
But,
for those who don't know the company yet until this episode, how would you describe your business? What is it that you provide that others don't?
so I provide basketball skills training at a high level. And what I mean high level is high level details, meaning whatever a player doesn't have, we'll make sure that it's attainable for them.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't go off biases. I don't go off to whatever coaches tell them, hey, you should only be this. Or let's say, for instance, Chris was a type of guy a coach placed in a box. They only wanted him to shoot the basketball, right?
They didn't want him on the court for anything else.
Right.
Right.
They only wanted him to shoot basketball and play defense. If I was training him, I'd say, screw all that. Yes, listen to that, but we're also going to work on your overall game.
Right.
We're going to make sure that you have other tools because there's going to be a time and a place where you're going to be required to do more than just shoot the basketball. And I want to make sure that he has those tools available.
Like a
as well.
like a triple spin.
Yeah.
You
know
can
what
do a
tri-
triple spin?
Yo, this dude did 3 spin moves in a row. Turn it over. Then the coach match up, he's like, yo, I'm dizzy. Like, bro, you did 3 spin moves in a row. Like, yo.
You turned it over, so it wasn't worth
Got
it.
him.
No, they got you. And let's see that triple spin move here behind the scenes.
No, but like he actually had some
Play me.
overall skills. He had pretty good, decent overall skills. It's just that because he was only asked to shoot the ball, I just felt like he just got put in a box.
Right.
And to me, like that's okay, but at the same time, it's not his dream.
Right.
So I attain to dreams. So if a coach places you in a box, cool, be coachable. But at the same time, we're gonna work on your dream. That means you got to have the tools available when that opportunity arises for you.
Gotcha.
Because at some point it will. An opportunity will open up for you if you're resilient. Opportunities will open up. It's just that
Are you able to respond?
right.
To
So
those?
I always have this thing where, I always tell players this comment where you don't rise to occasions. No one ever rises to an occasion. You only drop down to the level of your preparation. So if a big moment is around you, you're not gonna automatically rise up to an occasion if you've never prepared for it. No, you're gonna drop down to the level of your preparation.
Right.
So if your level of preparation is high level, you're gonna drop down to that level, and if that's high level, cool, you're good to go.
Yeah.
But you're never gonna rise to an
No,
occasion.
that makes sense because you've never trained for that.
You've
so
never
you're not gonna be
prepared
able to
for it. That's
obtain
BS. That's a myth.
Yeah.
It's one of those. Oh, come on, rise to an occasion. No.
that. So that could be a good slogan for Two Hands Basketball.
Yeah.
Drop to your preparation.
You only drop to the level of your preparation. So if you're dropping to a level of your preparation and your preparation level was high level, you're good.
I like that.
You're fine.
That's what's up.
So I
So
hate
your
that.
training is all based on
Yeah.
that preparation.
I think that goes with. I don't really like the whole idea of, oh, I just need confidence to do something. I like it for you to have clarity.
Yeah.
And being prepared is having clarity on what it is that you need to do.
Exactly.
So if you're training, like for instance, when I would train in specific game situations. So when I'm playing on an advanced level of basketball, I don't get nervous,
right.
or if there's a million people watching you, because you've prepared for it. Like what
Right.
you're talking about, you're rising the occasion because you were prepared for that already.
Right. And confidence is more so like it's a chemical feeling anyway. So like
Yeah.
the more you practice something, like those, chemical feelings like just stay intact into your DNA anyway. So confidence naturally goes into your body when you're prepared for that moment. Like, so if it's, like you said, like I hate that, oh, I need more confidence. You're not going to get any more confidence if you don't have the level of preparation for it. Simple as that. So your confidence is just more of like, have you really worked on it enough?
Are you ready for this moment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that moment will tell you, will let you know everything you need to know if you've prepared or not.
So for somebody, a parent or a player that's looking to get into your training, where would they go? How do they sign up for the training?
This is my website, www.2handsbasketball.com, and it has all the information, and you could
Sign up for the
Yeah.
the
That's
type
two
of training
with a
packages.
numeral.
yeah,
Okay.
numerical 2, like the number 2, not TWO. It's just 2.
Twohandsbasketball.com.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. And they can find you on Instagram at 2handsbasketball.com. I mean, 2handsbasketball at 2handsbasketball.
Yeah.
Okay. And your gym is located in St. Cloud.
Yes. St. Cloud, 2013 Murcott Drive. Stop by, get some more info, whatever.
For sure, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, well, I appreciate you coming on. We appreciate
For
you coming
sure.
on.
It was a good
It
talk,
was a
man.
great
Thanks-
talk,
time.
man.
Good time.
Thanks
Good
for
talk.
letting us use the spot too, man.
For
Yeah,
sure.
Thank you
for
for
sure.
being an official
Anytime.
sponsor too, man.
We'll be back 20 episodes later.
Hey, let's see.
Let's see where we're at.
Hey, hold on real quick before I forget. How do you say hi? My name is Ryan in Tagalog.
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 Yo,
Tagalog.
I forgot
You
how to say
tipsy?
name.
He tipsy.
I don't drink.
Yeah.
Yo, I might have to get back to you that later.
Oh
To be
man, I gotta wait again.
Oh, I got it. I forgot how to say hello. I could just say my name is.
Okay, go for it.
Ang pangalan ko. Damn, how do you say is?
Ang pangalan ko.
Ang pangalan ko. My name. Oh yeah, my name. I just don't know how to say
You're too
is.
Americanized now.
Yeah,
man.
for real, bro.
So if
Ang
you went
pangalan
over
ko
Rayon.
Ryan.
So if you went over there right now, it'd take you a while to get back into the flow.
Yeah, like
you
I
understand it fully.
100%.
so
okay.
so if somebody was in here talking Tagalog,
Yeah.
Tagalog.
Like so I have a few.
It's
I have a few Filipino clients, and then I have a few Filipino clients, and then I'll try to speak to them from time to time. They'll be like, "Oh, Filipino?" Like
Oh,
they're
yeah.
like Filipino, like
and
It-
then
they'd be so surprised.
They can't tell off rip.
they'd be so surprised. Then they'd be like, "Oh, it makes sense. The last name Buhain, yeah, it's a
That's
Filipino."
how
last-
it's spelled. In, I mean,
Oh,
that's how
shit.
it's pronounced.
yeah,
Buhain.
yeah.
Buhain.
So
Because if I looked at you, I would assume you're Filipino.
yeah,
But they don't, I guess. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
well, I mean, but look at this guy. Who knows what the hell he is?
yo, they said I'm Dominican, dog.
Hey, champagne papi. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Thanks
Yeah,
again
no problem,
for joining
man.
us.
Glad to be here.
Enjoy.
2Hands basketball.
Good luck to the rest of the vibe. We'll catch up with you next time, man.
Yeah, a few
Appreciate
episodes
it,
in.
man.
All right.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you, bro.